U-Sports on CBC, les championnats U-Sport, brought to you in part by, vous êtes présenté par Nike Team, Just Do It, faites-le. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues de championnat U-Sport. Fox 40, celebrating a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport depuis 10 ans. By Veriburn, proud medical supplier to university sports since 1979. Fier partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. The Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. And by Cavendish Farms. Enjoy the game day taste at home with Cavendish Farms. Profitez des saveurs de jour de match chez vous avec les frites Les Fermes Cavendish.
Welcome to the 2023 Cavendish Farms University Cup on CBC. I'm Beau Ford, joined alongside by Norman Beck as we get set to bring you this U-Sports quarterfinal matchup between the third seed UNB Reds and the sixth-seeded Concordia Stingers. Norm, we were treated to a great game this afternoon. We'll expect much of the same here. We get the AUS champion UNB Reds taking on the OUA consolation winner Concordia Stingers.
Well, Bo, it's an interesting matchup here tonight. You're looking at two teams that are, by and large, relatively young. A lot of new players in Concordia, a lot of young players in UNB, although they have the long tradition of a winning culture and a winning environment and producing multiple championships year over year. And, of course, the most decorated coach in U-Sport, probably hit one of the most decorated in history, but certainly the most decorated of the current era. But this is an intriguing matchup. A couple of top-end goaltenders, Jonathan Lemieux, Samuel Richard, both outstanding members of the first team rookie and first team All-Stars. It's got the makings of a real good one.
So as we set up the weekend here, the road to the final, here you'll get the bracket outlook. So we talked about that UQTR and St. Mary's game. UQTR coming out top 4-1 here this afternoon. Now we'll see who will face off in that Saturday afternoon semifinal game as the Reds and Stingers take to the ice here tonight.
Well, and this is the task number one, job number one is what you want to do. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself thinking about what happened. You take a look at UNB last year. They were coming into the game against TMU. They get an early goal. They fell behind early. They couldn't get back. You don't know in these sorts of games. You have to have everything sort of working in your favor. And if UNB wants to get in and advance, they are facing a little bit of adversity, missing a couple of big bodies. Cade Landry's not going to be available to them. You know, he's been outstanding here in the playoffs for UNB. Cale McCollum, nice addition here that came at Christmas time. He's unavailable to the Reds as well, too. So, there's kinds of question marks going on here, right?
Big loss, too, for the Concordia Stingers in this game. Maxime Turpanye out of the lineup as well. They're one of their top point getters, 12 goals in the regular season. He's a big loss for this Stingers team.
Well, and he's got the Memorial Cup experience with Halifax, too, right? So you're talking guys, relatively young teams, missing some of those guys who bring this sort of leadership element to it. What's that going to mean? Of course, McCollum being a newbie, and Turpanye too. But you know what? All kinds of intrigue coming with this one. It's going to be a great game.
We'll throw it over to the public address announcer here inside the Eastlink Center, and we'll pick it up close to puck drop.
We would like to acknowledge that the University of Prince Edward Island is located in Ebequid, on the traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people.
Nous reconnaissons le fait que l'Université de l'île du Prince-Édouard est située à Epiquet, la terre ancestrale des Mi'kmaq, et nous les respectons en tant que peuple autochtone. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, en ce moment, veuillez diriger votre attention vers le centre de la glace pour notre mise au jeu cérémonielle.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to center ice for our ceremonial puck drop. Representing 2023 U-Cup title sponsor Cavendish Farms, please welcome Marc Cormier.
Représentant le commanditaire titre du Cup Cavendish Farm 2023, accueillons Marc Cormier. Nous aimerions demander les capitaines de joindre Marc au centre de la glace. We would like to ask team captains to please join Marc at center ice. Merci, Marc. Thank you, Marc. Et maintenant, veuillez vous lever pour l'interprétation de notre hymne national chanté par Jill Chandler.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of our national anthem by Jill Chandler.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Qu'à t'embrasser, porter les pays, et c'est porter la croix. Ton histoire est une l'épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Merci, Jill. Thank you, Jill.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here for this semi-final matchup between the Concordia Stingers and the UNB Reds. A pair of highly decorated netminders to start this one off. Jonathan Lemieux for the Concordia Stingers, the OUA Goaltender of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and the first team All-Star. He supported the league best 1.98 goals against average in the regular season and a .933 save percentage. At the other end, another highly decorated goaltender in Samuel Richard, the Claire Drake Rookie of the Year at last night's awards banquet, a second-team All-Canadian and a part of the All-Rookie team, a 1.22 goals against average and a .933 save percentage in the regular season.
I tell you one thing, Bo, you look at that rookie crop last night. Whew, baby.
A lot of things.
Talk about goaltenders. Jack and Smallwood, we're going to see him tomorrow with the University of Alberta rounding out that trio of nominees. But you look at the record and the pedigree that they have, and they're setting themselves up for a good foundation in e-sport hockey in the next number of years.
Quick icing call here off the opening faceoff. So Norm talked about it. No Cade Landry and Cale McCollum here. Two big losses for the UNB Reds. And Maxime Trepanier out for the Concordia Stingers. Face-off will be down to the left of Richard as we get underway here, and face-off is down. The Reds will control it. It's Connor Hall up through the middle to Wilms. Wilms up over the blue line. He'll drag and fire. That one blockered away by Lemieux, and Campbell able to skate into it. Chipped into the middle ice and knocked off there was Martineau. Ross McDougall now for the Reds. Gets it back into neutral zone territory. Katarinakis works it back to Levine. Levine will dish one across to Desgrolier. Campbell will chip it in, and McDougall will chase it back into his own zone here for the Reds. It's worked around to the boards, and Macaulay Carson will put it up through the middle. Pinard will skate into it. He'll feel a body check there from Martineau. Gilmore pushes it over the blue line, but Katarinakis skates in. He'll drop that one back, and the Havlana. Kyle Havlana played it over to Innes out of his reach, and still will go back inside his own zone. Work to Katarinakis through the neutral zone. Pinard, though, will pick it up for the Reds. He'll come over the blue line, try and take it wide on Innes. He'll stop up, comes back to the point. No way, he'll fire that one in, and Lemieux will take it into the crest.
So, Bo, we were looking at things early, and we had a great crowd here earlier on in the afternoon. As we see here, a little bit of an on-call going on, and Felix Martineau, a couple of captains hooking up there, Jason Wilms. Of course, Felix Martineau has been outstanding for Concordia in these playoffs. But, you know, looking at the crowd, they're starting to file in a little bit at a time here. We had the Hot Stove League taking place over here in the Trade Center next door. Of course, with Ron McLean with hosting, moderating the old Hot Stove. Quite an event going on here as part of the Cavendish Fair and U Cup 2023 here in Charlottetown.
There's a long blast up high and over the goal as the Stingers try and apply pressure. It'll come to Macaulay Carson for the Reds, and he'll work it off to Sproul. Over the eye, backhand shot from Corbet. That'll roll off the back of his stick down into the corner boards and back to retreat at Lavoie. Lavoie bounce it off the boards. McDougall able to keep it in. He plays it down low. Macaulay Carson will shovel it the rest of the way. Here's Ansteel in behind the goal. Will work it across and get it onto the stick of Tremblay. Tremblay will set it up in behind the goal of Lemieux. Comes out with it now as tries to find some open ice through the neutral zone. He'll chip it in, and Tyler Hyland will go after Ross McDougall down in the corner boards. Carroll will chip it away. Cody Morgan tries to bounce it off the boards. It's up through the neutral zone, and here comes Wilms. Wilms will fire one wide on the glove side. It'll ring on around and come out into the neutral zone. Lavoie chips it in, and Noah Carroll feels it in behind the goal of Richard. Closed up along the wall. Levine back at the point. He'll step in and take it down back underneath the goal. Tries to wrap it around. Noah Carroll got a stick on it. Levine battling down low with Baber. Baber able to kick that one loose for the Reds. He'll skate into it out there with Keating and Morgan. He chips it off the boards, and quickly up is DeGruzier, and he'll send it. Yeah, got away with one there at the UNB bench as Carroll handles it. Gets one across to McCormick. McCormick up to McKay. He's got Nurse driving the goal. Gets it to Nurse, but it's poked away by Innes. Comes back to the line. There's McCormick. Fires one through traffic, and Lemieux out at the top of the blue paint. He'll hold on and make the save.
You're seeing a couple of good engagement here with Concordia early on, Bo. You see a guy like Simone Levine, Christmas time edition here for Concordia, jumping in, making a great jump in, going in, being part of, getting engaged from the back end, making it difficult on the UNB side. That's going to be a thing for me to watch over this next little while. Is a Concordia team that's really focused on the defensive side of things, to commitment. If they can get engagement from them coming through, that's going to be a big determinant in their success for this game.
Proul in to take the draw against Baber. It's one back, and Innes will control it in behind the goal. He's closed off there in the boards, but is able to get it off to his teammate in the half wall. That's Hechigari Obey. Back inside the line. Here's Chris Innes. He'll work it over to Havlena. Havlena reverse body checks his man through the neutral zone, and the captain Martineau, it'll come back, and up top there's a quick shot through traffic. Richard down, Jaguar whacks away at it, but that puck is held on for the whistle as these two teams combine. Norm, we talk about student athletics and these team environments and how they attract, and there's a really interesting story with this Concordia Stingers. Of course, an unfortunate story. Last year, Gabriel Proul lost his mom. Tyler Hyland this year, you'll see that ML sticker on the helmet. This is about a team coming together around an unfortunate event.
Well, Tuesday, a couple of circumstances there with Tyler Holland. He loses his mother earlier in the school year, loses his grandmother during the FISU games as he replaced Kyle Maximovich from UPEI here. But, it turned into a really nice story in the playoffs, Bo, when they went up to Lakehead for the bronze medal game. They chartered a plane, and they were able to take a couple of seats, take the dads of Gabriel Proul and Tyler Holland up into that game into Lakehead. They were able to be part of the bronze medal victory. They got their team picture taken with the team out on the ice. Just one of those feel-good stories of where Marc-Andre Elema is making it more about hockey and more creating a sense of family and doing something good in the face of a difficult situation. So good on Marc-Andre Elema for doing that, and good for Concordia for arranging it and supporting those students in their time of need.
Those are all about the things, not only these teams do for each other, but as well around the community. And, just a great effort by this Stingers team. It's a family environment and a family event, and we see a lot of family in town here for this weekend here in Charlottetown for these players to support them.
Yeah, no question. It's all about how, they'll remember how they made you feel.
Up over the line, here's Concordia 2-on-1. Pinard does a good job to knock his man Tremblay off stride. Half wall boards, and it started out by Michael Petizian. He was closed off there by Campbell, and back up over the line. It's played in by Desgroulier. In behind the goal, Ansteel will close off, and Gilmore will try and work for that puck for the Reds. In the skates. Rolls out front. Here's Pinard. Pinard Circling from his own end, he's got Brady Gilmore far side. He elects to loft that one down and up over the head of Innes, and that will go for icing.
Well, you know, if you look at UNB, Bo, they're a team that really, they pride themselves in offense, but one of the things Gardner McDougall also prides himself is defensive play. You look at a guy like Connor Hall, a heart and soul guy, probably the #1 chirper on the UNB Reds, but, you know, a real hard-nosed guy is hard to play against. And he's a guy whose statistics don't show up a lot, but he makes a big difference in the back end for this UNB Reds.
A 1920 AUS all-rookie team and a third-round pick to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Connor Hall. Innes at the blue line. Over to Hevlana. He got caught up there, and it's played down. McDougall will field it as he's pressured hard in behind the goal and work to the half-wall boards. Here's Tremblay again, down low. Make that Paymal. Paymal tries to center it out. It'll come to Sproul. Sproul will start it up through the neutral zone. He'll chip and chase it down and head in behind the goal after Hevlana. Corbet joins the mix. Sproul gets that loose puck, centers it out, rolls under the stick of Macaulay Carson. Here's Noah Carroll now, top of the circle, works it down low, near side boards. Carson in there battling for it with Corbet. Corbet back up top to Carroll, back down low. Corbet comes out, fires one, makes the iron sing with that shot, and then draws a penalty as the Reds are going to go to the power play here, but Carroll will come back into the neutral zone as Richard goes to the bench. 6-on-5 attack here with 13:37 left to go in the first period. Delayed penalty coming up to the Concordia Stingers. Here's McCormick. Drops one back to Ross McDougall. McDougall, the former Acadia Axeman, up over the blue line, and that'll get blown down on the offside. Get our first penalty call of the hockey game.
Oh, Ben Corbet doing, really getting in hard in the attack. Like the way he get in, got the body on the defense. He started that whole sequence. And then what happens, you got Macaulay Carson coming in, probably as hard-nosed a forward as you're going to get on that UNB squad. And this line here, Gardner McDougall would say, this has been one of his best lines in the playoffs. He says Macaulay Carson has been the best two-way forward in the course of this playoffs, and they get added here early to make something happen for the Reds. Let's see if they can capitalize.
McCormick off the face-off. They start to work it around, down low to Gilmore, back up top to McCormick. McCormick back to Brady Gilmore, back to McCormick. He'll step into one and kicked away by Lemieux. Comes back up to the half-wall boards and chipped out by Felix Martineau. This UNB power play running at a torrid pace. They were 27.6% in the regular season, down to 23.3 in the playoffs. Up over the line, McCormick plays it down and in, and Wilms and Keating will try and hunt that puck down. Innes finds a clear lane, and he'll send that one the length of the ice. 1 minute and 18 seconds left on this first power play for the UNB Reds.
So far, so good for the Stingers, keeping it clean, not allowing UNB to do too much. Christopher Innes just keeping it simple, clear get the alley, find your lane, get rid of it.
Here's Corbet up over the line for the Reds. He'll stop up top of the circle. Prule's able to get a stick on that and force it down underneath the goal line. Battling for that puck there is Cole McKay. Petesian watches on. It's rimmed on around. Cody Morgan's able to knock it down with the glove. Gets it to Petesian, tries to go down low. He gets crossed up with the official, and the Stingers are once again able to send that one right into the UNB bench. Duck over there.
They're showing it in there. Nathan Lavoie drilled her hard. Not sure which bench it went into. It looked like Griffin Outhouse might have had the mitts ready to go and protect all of his teammates on the far side there. Sitting over there as well was the Concordia backup goalie as well, Jordan Naylor. So they get all kinds of protection.
Wilms tied up off the face-off, but it comes back to Pinar. He works it to McCormick. Back to Pinar. He'll fire traffic in front. Keating gets a whack at it there, and it's worked back to the point. Comes back up top, McCormick. Gets it to Wilms, sends it rink wide over to Gilmore. Gilmore skates it down low, comes back up top. McCormick fires through traffic, stopped again by Lemieux. Wilms on the puck pursuit. He's forced off of that puck, and here comes Innes. Back the other way for the Stingers. He'll dish it off. There's a shot on over the blocker side of Richard. Wilms closes off on Innes. Just 7 seconds left on the Reds' first power play of the game. Good job by the Stingers. Penalty kill here as they gumming up and get it back to 5-a-side hockey.
seeing good hard body. Just saw the big body presence of Julian Ontill going in, doing what they had to do in their own zone again to keep it clean. Winning board battles along the wall, that enabled them to get out of the zone, right? And you talk about those are the sort of 50-50 battles that you got to be winning on a regular chance.
So UNB, they did get a good opportunity, looking to create momentum. Here you see Pinard uses that screen in front, right, to create some hectic traffic.
Well, he's the gunner that you want in the side, right? You're going to be looking at him, and I'm sure Concordia's been looking at the videotape, and they know this guy's the gunner over there in the far side. They'll have to pay attention to 47 if they're going to have success long term, especially on the power play against a guy, here he is, AUS all-rookie, U-Sport all-rookie. Guys came in, put up big numbers here in his first year. 19 goals, 19 goals, 10 assists, 29 points. Point a game coming in.
I've really liked Concordia. They've come out in this game. They've really engaged. After whistles, we didn't see a whole lot in that game. They're looking to get into UNB's face here and looking to agitate them a little bit.
Well, if one thing that we've noticed, Bo, with UNB teams over the years, if you do get in their cages, they can get rattled. And, you talk about a guy like we talked about the aforementioned Connor Hall just a little while ago. He's a guy that when he gets going, he loves to get involved, get engaged in the verbal and the physical side of things. But Concordia here is clearly showing, you know what? We're ready to go. We're ready to battle. I don't care whether you're number 3 or whatever.
Looks like we got some broken glass here in behind the goal of Richard. I'm not sure if that was a shot from Concordia or if that might have happened in warm-up, but there's a look at it. You can kind of see the broken pane there in behind Richard. So they're talking to the event staff here. Good chance for us with 11:14 left to go here in period 1. Tied at 0. You're watching the U Sport University Cup on CBC.
Catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliant. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University Sport.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here with a little bit of delay in a tie hockey game. Fans, you too can celebrate each U Sports team gold medal with victory. Your very own commemorative apparel from T. Leetzen Sports. Fans of basketball's Carleton Ravens and the Guelph Griffins in track have been flocking to sports.usports.ca to purchase their piece of history. On Monday, the championship collection from this championship will be made available for purchase, but hurry, supplies will go fast on this limited time offer. That's the U Sports Championship Collection on sale at shop.usports.ca.
Almost as if right on cue, we have Connor Hall and Felix Martineau getting engaged in a little bit of a verbal warfare going on. The referees had to get in between them. But while we have the break here, Bo, I was mentioning earlier about the hot stove event that was going on over next door at the Trade Center. And I mean, what a tremendous response we had from the community. We had to cut off the tickets. The sales were outstanding. There was over 400 people in next door at the Trade Center listening to stories from PEI hockey legends. I mean, you're talking about PEI hockey royalty, guys like Billy McMillan, Al McAdam, Shane Turner, of course, was a great hockey player back in his day. Had some time down in the old Central League in the New York Islanders organization when he played down in Indianapolis back when they were winning all those cups in the early 80s. But you get a guy like Ron McLean come in to moderate that event, and you talk about a guy who can bring the country together, bring history together into the modern day with the information, the wealth of information that guy has, and to be able to bring up stories and to ask great questions and to elicit great responses and really good information. And those that were there in attendance, what a treat it was for them to be able to listen to the legends of PEI hockey. And I really enjoyed Billy McMillan in particular. For those of you who know Billy, he's a bit of a quieter guy, but so insightful, so smart in his answers. And Al McAdam, of course, a great, loved by all here in PEI too. But what a great event it was. Unfortunately, we had to come back in here and do our job. I didn't get to see my old buddy Bob McDonald, the hero of 1985, when we beat Moncton in overtime at the old Charlottetown Forum. But there was Denny, and there you get Premier Denny King in the midst of an election coming in, showing up, giving of his time to be part of it as well too. But just an awesome event and part of that total package that's going to be offered here as part of the Cavendish Farms U Cup here in Charlottetown.
Yeah, it's been a great presentation by the host UPEI Panthers. Now, Norm, we're 11 minutes and 14 seconds, so we're about 9.5 minutes into this first period. Both teams come in. You're on the national stage. There's a lot of nerves. You've got a couple shifts underway here. The nerves are probably gone out. What kind of effect? I know the two goaltenders, they're trying to stay ready and warm, but what about the players on the bench to come back in here after this delay?
Well, I think in this game, Bo, it's been a very tight game here so far. I mean, the shots are 6-1 in favor of the Reds, but there hasn't really been a whole lot generated. A lot of them would have came in the power play that they would have had. So it's not like one team has had the momentum and one team is reeling. You got two teams that are very involved in a pretty much of a chess match going on. So they're sitting there. I mean, this is probably not a bad thing for Concordia, who are coming in here, maybe the lesser experienced of the two teams. Gives them a chance to come in, get their feet wet a little bit. Get their, Jonathan Lemieux gets 6 touches on the puck coming in. He's a rookie coming in. You're fitting here on the big stage. What are you going to do? How are you going to respond? So far, the response is good. And I think this works fine. If you're sitting there in your Marc-Andre element, you're happy with this. You're okay with the break.
So we have the first quarterfinal in the books. UQTR Patriot defeating the St. Mary's Huskies to score 4-1. Very close game. St. Mary's comes out with a 1-0 lead after the first period, and the Patriot kind of find their game and work it through. We're going to see the rest of this Red Stingers game, and then tomorrow we got another 2-pack on here to find out who goes to the semifinals. These are big games because right now it's one and done.
Well, exactly. I mean, if you're looking at it, you look over in that left side of the bracket, you got Calgary and University of Alberta. You've traveled a long time. You're talking to Ian Herbers about the road that they took here. They went over, they established themselves over in Halifax, had a little bit of a mini camp going over there. They did some practice time, I think, at Cole Harbour Place. They had a couple of local people that arranged some things for them. But you're coming a long distance. You're coming a long ways for one game if you're potentially done. So, but, if you're looking at it, it's all kinds of interesting matchups. Windsor, for me, is an interesting story in terms of what they're going to bring. They're kind of a collective patchwork of players in terms of who they are. You got the long-standing legacy of the University of Alberta. Again, going back to Ian Herbers, he was saying that, oftentimes they're coming in as the first or second-ranked team. Here they are coming in as fourth. That's a bit of a different situation for them. And he's okay with that because, then you don't have the target on your back, but you still have a program with the winning pedigree that they have and the experience that they have. So, there's all kinds of interesting matchups. And, of course, the matchup that everybody's been waiting for will happen tomorrow night on St. Paddy's Day with UPEI finally getting to play, hosted in 1970, did not get to play in the old Charlottetown Forum under a much different format. As you had 5 teams back then, 5 conferences, 5 conference winners showed up. UPEI in its first year of existence was unable to make it to that final that year. However, they were the hosts. It was a success. Charlottetown Forum was the Charlottetown Forum, Bo, and hopefully tomorrow night we're going to have the Eastlink Center be in the Eastlink Center and a big crowd out in support for the hometown Panthers as they take on a powerhouse in Calgary.
Pairs are. We got the first pane out. We're getting ready to get the second pane up top here as the Concordia Stingers. Most of their players have circled out from the bench. They're now kind of down on one knee in front of the bench waiting for this delay here. It's one of those things you never plan for one of these things, and we'll see how both teams are able to rally back after the fact. But one thing that's really stuck out for me with this Concordia team, Norman, a lot of Cape Breton Eagle trademarks in this team. They bring in 3 guys from last season, so that's basically their whole overage 20-year-old crop from last year. And then, of course, you had the standout in their captain in Felix Martineau, who I think has a very interesting story. From leaving Cape Breton, went to play pro hockey, played 30 games in Laval in the American League, 23 with Fort Wayne, came back in 2019-2020, sits out his year to gain back his eligibility. Then we got COVID in 2021. So stepping aside here from the Eastlink Center as we continue to make the repairs. 0-0 through the first half of the first period from the Eastlink Center.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Unbelievable. History has repeated itself.
Get the stories behind the glory. Watch, listen, stream, read CBC Sports.
Back inside the Eastlink Center here with 11:14 left to go in period number 1. It's still tied at 0 here between the UNB Reds and the Concordia Stingers as we're under a maintenance delay. But you can be sure Canada's best university men's volleyball teams head to Hamilton for the 2023 U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship presented by Mikasa. Catch every second of the action beginning Friday only on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and the CBC Olympic YouTube channel.
One thing about this crew down here, Bo, it's all hands on deck, I can tell you. You even get Rob Harding down there. Look, he's the goal judge here for tonight's game. He's doing what he can to steady the glass as it looks like, I don't know if that's Hal McDonald up top or get Andy McDonald down holding her on the bottom, but of course, this new glass was part of the upgrade that we had from the Canada Winter Games. Of course, it just recently wrapped up here, and, you know, that game.
What, Norman, I talked about this a couple different times over the past 6 weeks. So, you know, we do the Panthers broadcast. That's game 3, deciding game, goes to double overtime against the UDM Aigle Bleu. We come in here a couple days later. It's a gold medal matchup between Team Ontario and Team Saskatchewan. Double overtime to solve that one. The next week, Team Nova Scotia goes on a Cinderella run in the women's hockey all the way to the final. And then the other night in Kensington, part of the major U18, Charlottetown Knights are ready to sweep the series. They're down 6-2 with 11 minutes left to go. They come back, win 7-6 in overtime. And then you add this event on top of it. Like, Charlottetown's been treated to some special amount of hockey and sports events here this winter.
Well, you know, there's all kinds of stories being written everywhere, and you know, in a nice story about that Knights the other day, you look at a kid like Connor Pierce, right? An unheralded, non-defensive defenseman, does his job, stays at home, gets released by the Knights, comes back in his 3rd year of U18, able to get in, make it happen, score the winning goal. And it was so nice seeing the celebration taking place afterward. But you go back to that Nova Scotia that Nova Scotia Ontario game. You know, there was a team, Nova Scotia, they battled so hard in that game that goalie was outstanding for the, you know, she plays with Cape Breton.
Raya Stewart, if you're at home, you might want to write her name down.
Yeah, you might. I think Elite Prospects took a beating with her Googling as well, too. But she was a tremendous story, and, you know, they 13 players on that team, Ontario, who were members of the U18 Women's Championship team for Canada. Just a real Cinderella story, and it was everyone was blue nosers that night that was at that rink. It was such an exciting time, but there's probably going to be a great story written here over the course of this weekend, as the great story being written right now is we're getting that last stanchion putting into the glass, and they're finally figured it out. But that's what these championships are all about, Bo. It's opportunities for guys to, you look at a guy, we talked about Simon Lafrance, writing history yesterday to get UQTR back in the national win column once again, too. And I'm sure there's guys in here, we're going to be seeing a hero at some point in time. You talked earlier about how many games did you say there were? There were 1-goal games in the 23, and 11 of those, I think, went to overtime. One of them went to triple overtime. I remember a few years ago, Western Mustangs beat, I think, it might have been University of Alberta in a barn burner.
Double overtime last year, too.
Double overtime last year, right? So, Simon Lafrance wearing the hero's cape, and there's lots of guys who are going to be able to fit that bill over the course of this tournament. And, as things tighten up as we get through this first bracket and those brackets start getting closer and closer, we look to the semifinals coming up here on Saturday, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock here and 7 o'clock at Eastlink Center. And then, of course, the same thing will happen on Sunday with the bronze medal game and the gold medal game that night as well. So it's just going to be fantastic, and there's all kinds of championships going on, around Canada right now. This is kind of wrapping things up as well, too.
Canada's best university women's hockey is the best of U Sports women's hockey action is happening at the 2023 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship in Montreal. Catch all the action on cbcsports.ca and CBC Gem. 2 games today, and Mount Royal upsets Toronto 3-2 in that first game. And of course, if you're a UNB Reds hockey fan, you were kind of hoping that things would set up. They're taking on the host Montreal team at 8:30 Atlantic. Looks like we're going to crisscross here now with this little bit of a delay, but if you're a UNB Reds program, you got to be ecstatic. And how about Mount Royal knocking off Toronto?
Well, how many times is that the U of T has now gone down? I mean, they came in here a couple of years ago into Charlottetown. You and I did the tournament, of course, last year with the women's bowl, a few games, but they were going in. But that's a team, that has been extremely successful on the OUA level, just haven't been able to convert it at the national level. And, you look at their coach, Vicky Sanahara, look at the decorated career that she has had as a hockey player, but it doesn't always translate when you get into these tournaments. Anything can happen, right? And, you look at it, we were kind of scratching our head earlier about how does UNB as the conference champion of one of 3 conferences become the 4th seed? Not quite sure. So, you've got a team with the U Sport Player of the Year in Kendra Woodland. She comes back, wins the award there this year. We've seen how good she's been.
How about the goaltending at the UNB then?
Well, yeah, really.
Kendra Woodland and Samuel Richard are like, who? Well, we're coming in here about 15 minutes here on this delay, and you know what? We talk about goaltenders.
We're running out of material, but
we're talking about goaltenders. We see Lemieux down at one end. He's stretching right out. Richard at the other end. He's batting the legs back and forth here. Both of them trying to stay hot. But we talk about goaltending and how critical it is in a short event like this. Both of these 2 teams, they're coming in with a pair of ringers.
Well, ringers extraordinaire. And, we looked at it last night. 2 of the U Sport Rookie of the Year nominees. Probably Samuel Richard didn't get it because he won pretty much every award he was nominated for last year, or the U Sport All-Rookie, first-team All-Star, and that sort of stuff too, or second-team All-Star. But, and we're going to see another great goalie, another great story coming in Nathan Torquia. We'll see him tomorrow afternoon. Of course, unfortunately, you won't be able to be here, Bo, but Corey Arsenal will be in to slot in for that one. And, you talk about that's a great story. Right, a kid that last year was playing senior hockey, in no man's land.
Hey, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of speeches given last night.
Wasn't
Nathan
that
Torquil
awesome?
was unbelievable. I know folks at home weren't there, but he kind of talked about, he played here in Prince Edward Island in Summerside, and he reached out to teams trying to find a spot to play in U Sports. And really, his message was nobody wanted him. Windsor got themselves into a little bit of goaltender trouble. And, hey, here's the Reigns big guy coming a little bit after Christmas, and he thanked his teammates for welcoming him in a tough situation and making him feel at home. And now look at the guy go.
But you know what was so remarkable about that speech, Bo? It was so genuine, right? And I was talking with Kevin Hamlin after, and I said to Kevin, I couldn't believe what his speech was like. He said that's what he's all about. And, you watch him, he's not big in stature. I think he's only about 5'10", 5'11". But, you look at the success story of a guy like him, and it's going to be interesting to see, because that's a team, again, that scores by committee. They play by committee. They play with one another. We were talking about the family element being created here with Concordia, with Marc-Andre Element. Kevin Hamlin, former school principal himself, recently retired to become the head coach permanently of the Windsor Lancers. But, that's part of the intrigue of what we're going to be facing here over the next little while. All kinds of stories that are potentially going to be happening.
Boys are trying to get her down here, and it looks like we may be locked in down yonder here to our left, Norm. This is, so we're over 15 minutes here, and all about the safety of these players. You wouldn't want to see a hit go down underneath the goal line there and knock that out, as the UNB Reds will bust out onto the ice, get the legs fresh here.
Not a bad idea. It would allow the players to go out and get a bit of a rip. I know it's not the normal practice that you're allowed to do, but they've been sitting there for a long time. Unfortunately, we don't get the same courtesy that they get, Bo. We have to get back to business here and doing our job. And but, it's good they'll get out, and be interesting to see what the response is coming out of that.
A little longer than that minute and a half TV timeout that's
exactly.
usually.
Well, a little bit extra advertising value going for the valued sponsors that we have as part of this tournament. So we're back to what we came for.
Back underway. Martineau against Corbet. Corbet will tie up, and the puck will roll in behind the goal of Richard. And it's worked to Carroll, to Gilmore. Gilmore up through center ice. Evan Sproul will play it in. Lemieux will get his touch in behind the Concordia goal as he rims it on around, tries to get it to Campbell, hops over his stick. Hall tries to generate one towards the goal. Noah Carroll puts it down low. Sproul has it poked off of his stick, and there's Desgrousier. Gets it out to Campbell. Campbell up to the captain, Martineau. Martineau will chip it in, chase it down after Noah Carroll in behind the goal. Paul will stick it around to Sproul. Sproul gets it through the middle. Here's Macaulay Carson up over center to Corbet. Corbet will fire that one. Blocked, and losing a glove in the process is Lavoie. Saucer pass, rink wide off the bench. Nolay will fire and a whack and hack there as Lemieux has it in between the wickets. Justin Nolay, a player here for UNB, usually a forward. He's created some offensive opportunity, and he had a big hit in front of the bench early on in this hockey game.
Oh, do what you got to do. I mean, you're coming in. You're happy to get in, get some. It's one of those things. Next man up syndrome. Cade Landry goes down. Who's going to take up? Who's going to step up? I'm seeing Noah Carroll, not Tyler Carroll, his brother, but Noah Carroll being much more engaged on the offensive side, jumping in the play. You saw him there again, keeping the play alive down low. Some guys are going to have to replace some of that offense from the back end that you're going to be missing from McCollum and from Cade Landry as well, too.
Played into the zone. Ross McDougall will be chased down there by Anktil. And still. Battles for it, will come loose, and there's the captain, Wilms. Wilms will play it off to Austin Keating through center ice. Keating will dish it off to Cody Morgan. Tries to get it back to Keating. He had his stick tied up, driving the goal by Innes. It'll come out. Here's an opportunity. Morgan waits, fires, scores! Cody Morgan gets a gift on his stick, drives it to the goal. Outweights Lemieux, and the Reds are on the board.
Well, I think UNB might have got away with a bit of a hooking penalty going in as you're going in the forecheck here. It looks like they got the stick right in there. That enabled Jason Wilms to get the puck out, so maybe a fortunate call there working in favor of the UNB Reds. But Cody Morgan, he didn't care. He was just happy to get the puck out front. Great move to go around Jonathan Lemieux, who had pushed out to challenge. Morgan did the right thing, waited him out. He gets the big first goal here for the UNB Reds.
Here's Bizier, who will try and play it out. He'll get into the neutral zone. Here's Hyland. Hyland up over the line through the neutral zone, tries to play it in. Nurse will swing in, get it back to Carroll. Carroll will spin away from the forecheck, get it back near side boards. Here's McCormick. McCormick up through center, chipped in by Isaac Nurse. It's turned back by Levine. Levine up over the Reds line, will try and play it in. It's sticked off by Baber. Here's a play in the neutral zone. It's Hyland who will dish one across to Levine. It's off the stick of Paymon, and Richard will set it up here for Nollet. Justin Nollet for the Reds up over the blue line, dishes one off to Gilmore. Gilmore up over the line, stick like driving to the goal, gets a shot away, stopped there by Jonathan Lemieux. Rink wide pass comes to Giguère. Giguère will play it in, and it's dropped back to him by Poole. It's in the paraphernalia, and here comes Petizian up over the line. Partial breakaway. Michael Petizian to the backhand, tries to slide it 5-0, and Jonathan Lemieux says, no way, not today.
You're looking at Michael Petizian. He's a bit of a high-energy guy, causes the turnover, gets the Jets going in, takes a little look here to see what kind of space he has. He realizes that he has it. Jonathan Lemieux stands big, stick on the ice, well played, well positioned, well stopped.
So the Stingers will control it here off the face-off, but it's lofted into the neutral zone. Morgan will turn and send it back in. Wilms will head after Innes in the forecheck. Gets it off to Felix Martineau. Martineau dishes one across to Havlana and off the stick of Campbell, but McDougall will pick it up, work it over to McCormick. McCormick tries to send one rink wide. It's off his stick, and Ross McDougall will retrieve back inside his own blue line, tries to play it up through the middle to Wilms. Martineau picks it off, lofts one in, and he'll chase down after Ross McDougall. Felix Martineau working for that puck. Wilms will join the fray here for the Reds, trying to help out McDougall, who's down on the ice. Here's a centering pass. Innes, stutter step, fires one, blocked away, puck in the slot. Campbell working for that puck for the Stingers, comes to the half wall boards. Keating takes a whack at it. Innes will fire that one through. It's off a glove of McDougall. He'll pick it up off the boards and play one through the neutral zone. Havlana turns it back, but Ross McDougall again able to skate into it. He'll chip one out, but Havlana will lead the charge this time. He'll fire one. McDougall will take that one off the shin pad, go to the ice, get back to his feet, and loft it in towards Ricard. He'll cover up.
Well, the big difference so far in this game has been the play here. You're going to see it. Jason Wilms pops the puck loose here to Morgan. Look at that play. Great patience. Had Lemieux at his mercy and got it done. But if you looked at it on the defense, that's one thing on the offensive side. The UNB is really doing on the defensive side of things. They have those great layers. You just saw a great example of it a minute ago. Puck comes back out to the point of Christopher Innes. Austin Keating gets out into the shooting lane. Who's down in the middle? Ross McDougall coming over here. We talked about a veteran player coming over. You see he's wincing in pain after taking a shot on the leg there, but that's the sort of commitment that UNB has on the defensive side of things, to couple with that offensive force that they have. Guys like that, when you got one of your top scorers in Austin Keating, over a point-a-game guy doing that sort of stuff in the playoffs, man, that sends a message through your bench. So
both teams here, not that they'd welcome this break, they just had about 17 and a half, maybe 20 minutes, Norm. They'll get their traditional mid-period timeout here with the Reds leading 1-0. 9-1 shots on goal in favor of the Reds here.
Well, you know, I mean, if you bend but you don't break, and that's why you count on your goaltender to be a significant role player in your team. And we're looking at a guy like Jonathan Lemieux. We might be looking at that breakaway coming back and saying, is that going to be a bit of a turning point in the game? If Petizian gets that goal, we're back into a 2-0 game. Whew, that changes the water in the beans in a hurry. But still a long way to go, Bo. 47 minutes left to go in this game.
It's a good look at Jonathan Lemieux, the former Moncton Wildcat, goaltender of the year, rookie of the year, and the first team All-Star in the OUA Eastern Conference. Stood tall in the breakaway opportunity for Michael Petizian, one of those guys you want the puck on his stick for the UNB Reds. Had 7 points in the playoffs and 16 in the regular season. Face off here down to the right of Richard. And still in to take it here for Concordia. And he'll win that one back to Girard. He'll try and center one and stick in a whack from Tremblay. It's covered up, and Tremblay will exchange blows in front with Noah Carroll.
This is a line that Marc-Andre Element has been really counting on in the playoffs here. You know, you look at Nicolas Girard, former Drummondville, St. John Sea, he, another keeper too as well, came from the Cap as well. You know, he's had a great playoff, 2 goals, 5 assists here in 6 games, 7.6 games. Big body, on till, big body. Over on the right side too. You know, that's a big line that's going to be making a difference here. And Tremblay's been excellent as well.
Levine will send that one in around. It's picked up in behind the goal, but forced off. McDougall will make a play to McKay. McKay through the neutral zone. Tried to find Isaac Nurse, and he couldn't get the stick on that one as Levine did a good job to intercept that pass. He'll pick it up off the stick of Desgouliers, and Till will play it down. Here's Tremblay. Tremblay tries to backhand one, gets it into the slot. Sprawled down there was McDougall to nullify that opportunity here for the Concordia Stingers.
Good play by Ross McDougall.
Carroll will spin around and play it off the glass. Lavoie will stick it away from Sproul. Lavoie will turn it back up ice here for the Stingers. He'll skate in, play it down in the corner, try and head into the forecheck. He's the first one in behind the goal. It's picked up by Corbet. Corbet off the boards, trying to find Macaulay Carson with that puck. Highland will play it back, and Lavoie near side board chips it in. Connor Hall with possession for the Reds. Plays it into the middle to Macaulay Carson, knocked off of his stick, back to Connor Hall. Here's Nolay. Nolay will go up the far side boards to Sproul. Sproul will lose that puck through the neutral zone. Here's Justin Nolay, sticks it across to Corbet. Corbet goes down low with that puck, and Sproul sends it back up top. Nolay will walk and fire and drag, and puck is still loose there in front of Lemieux. Bodies scrambling around. It's cleared out, and Nolay will regroup, tries to make a backhand pass, loses the handle. Here's Highland skating in, fires one, just ripped it wide on the glove side of Richard. And Petizian will push it back the other way. Innes, watched there by Petizian. He's able to get it off to Hevlena. Hevlena reverses it back to Christopher Innes. He tries to send one. McCormick will hold it in just inside the blue line. Pinard back up top. McCormick will fire one in, and Lemieux will take that one into the crest, and a good save. You talked about Ross McDougall. He's a veteran presence for this young UNB Reds team, and I'll tell you what, he's brought his A game here to the national championships in Charlottetown.
Well, and the guy who's known for his offensive ability, ran pretty much a point a game over the course of his time here. Made the transfer, started off in Acadia, now doing his NBA over at UNB, but what an addition he has been. So he's a guy that we know can do it on the offensive side of things. He's getting it done defensively too. And you talk about guys, you know, I'm going back to that stepping up part. Who's going to be the difference maker? Ross McDougall is being a difference maker in this game early on for the Reds.
Played a lot of minutes here. Of course, he got that break with the glass in behind the goal. He's back out there now, and he's able to force that puck up. Austin Keating tries to chip it by Innes. He'll continue on, finish his lane, and drive that puck deeper into the zone. Wilms knocks it down with a glove. Battle is along the boards. Martineau comes out with it, comes into the middle of the ice. Campbell chips it by Hall, and he'll stride in after Noah Carroll. Carroll in behind the goal, leaves one for Hall on the backhand. Levine will fire one through, traffic gets through, and Richard there to make the save through the screen of Cody Morgan, his own teammate. Carroll pushes it ahead. Kataranakis goes back to Levine. Levine's pass picked off, and here comes Gilmore charging towards the goal. Drops one off. Quick shot there by Pinard. And there's another one of those UNB Reds. You want the puck in his stick. Lemieux says no way. Driving the goal again. A pass. Petizian was the intended receiver, but Lemieux sticks it away from Pinard.
You just see the transition, that quick strike ability of UNB. As soon as they see it, you saw Brady Gilmore just get on his horse in the neutral zone, recognize that he had transitioned going back the other way. They attack with speed. Pinard goes in, like you said, Bo. That's the guy you want with the puck on the stick. Jonathan Lemieux was a tremendous save right there. May have been his best of this game.
Pinard tries to find Sproul streaking into the zone. Icing waved off, so Sproul will take Levine into the boards down on the far side corner. Emmett Sproul tries to work it over to Macaulay Carson. It's in front of the goal, and a good hard stick there on the back end from Levine. Gets it out in the neutral zone. Poole's knocked down. He's trying to use his skate, not touch it with his glove as he's lost his stick. McDougall through the neutral zone, pushed off. He's able to play it to Sproul. Drops it back. Here's Ross McDougall stepping into one, tries to center one to Corbet into the slot. Puck bouncing around, will come back into the neutral zone, and here's Haggerty Aubin. Trips over that stick, knocks down Nole, and the puck will hit the official, land on the stick of Giguère. He blows a wheel as well. 3:12 left to go here in period number 1. UNB Reds leading by a score of 1-0, outshooting the Concordia Stingers 12-2. Here's Lemieux, he'll stick that one up, and Antill will leave it there. Pushed ahead by Girard. He's got it, plays it to Tremblay, hops over his stick, and here comes Isaac Nurse up over the line, tries to take it wide, closed off hard there by Evlena, and both of them feel the ill effects of that one. Girard back up through the center ice area for Tremblay, he'll back in, and in Richard gets caught up with the post, it's in behind, puck still loose, Stingers with possession, Evlena calls for it, wants it, fires one, just misses on the blocker side. Innes plays it down low, and Till will come out up top, tries to get it back to Innes, fielded off the skate, and it'll roll back into the Stinger zone.
A little bit of idle time might have cost Samuel Richard there. He hasn't been very busy, as you were mentioning, Bo, and he went out to play it. Almost got caught up in it. Bullet dodge right there.
Here's a puck played in, and Richard will handle it in behind the goal. Comes back to the high boards, and Highland will shovel it back in behind. Bizier leaves it there. A long, high saucer pass knocked down by Morgan. He'll play it off to Austin Keating. Here's Keating, top of the circle, stops up, spins back, tries to get it across to Wilms. It's picked off by Desgrossier. He'll leave it for Highland. Highland drive the goal, top of the circle, fires McDougall, sacrifices the body again. He'll block that one away, and he'll lead the charge up over the ice. Keating will send it the rest of the way. A favorable bounce there, almost to the stick of Noah Carroll, as we talked about it in the first game. Those lively boards here at the Eastlink Center can play havoc.
You even saw them in the warm-up. Both teams were going at it, throwing the puck in, trying to catch those angles, and it almost worked in UNB's favor right there.
Through the neutral zone, intercepted, and tried to play back it up quick, and here's Pinard with the interception up over the line. Pinard tries to cut it. There's a good stick lift by Felix Martineau to intercept. Down under a minute to go here in period number 1 with the Reds leading 1-0. Lavoie shovels that one in, and Hall will hold it. Pinard plays it rink wide, far side. McCormick skates it in off the official. Petizian will send it back in. Here's McDougall, leaves it there for Brady Gilmore. Gilmore in behind the goal. Work there by Campbell. Gilmore with the puck on his stick. Comes back up top. Here's McDougall. He'll walk, drag, look for a lane. Can't find one. Works it across to his partner McCormick. He fires one in off the yellow kick pike, and Concordia will turn and fire that one redirected into the Stingers bench. 25.1 seconds left to go in the first period.
Well, you know, you're looking at it here. We talked about that transition game earlier going on, and you see Brady Gilmore drops it back. Pinard, there's a guy. Look at him flashing out that great stop coming out there, and we're coming back. But you talk about it on the offensive side of the things. I love this play here by Kyle Halvina. Going in, bam! Takes Isaac Nurse, who just loves to play the physical game himself. So two guys that like to take the body. Halvina getting the better of the junkyard dog that is Isaac Nurse.
There's Corbet. Corbet drives to the goal, kicked away. He'll take it down low into the corner boards. Under 20 seconds to go here in the first period. Anstill will close off his man. Carroll tries to read that one in from the back end. It'll come back, and there's Ross McDougall again, logging big minutes here for this UNB Reds team. With time ticking down, he'll play it off to Corbet. Corbet up over center. He'll dish it into the middle. Shot on from Carson, that's off the shin pad and redirected wide. That'll do it here for period number 1 from the Eastlink Center. UNB Reds score first on a beautiful play where Cody Morgan outweights the goaltender.
Well, one of the things that UNB Reds pride themselves on is team speed, Bo, and that attack mentality. They really made it difficult for the Concordia Stingers to generate anything. 12-2 were the shots on net. And really one of the better chances came when Samuel Richard kind of muffled the puck in behind his own net. But that was really a UNB's period. I mean, they took it to them. They were closing off gaps in the neutral zone, not allowing Concordia to develop anything. You saw a couple of transition plays like we saw with the Brady Gilmore going in, picking up they trap over they flood that offside winger. They get it in transition, cause a turnover. Gilmore goes in hard, knows that the support's coming in behind him, puts it in the shooting lane, and fortunately for the Concordia Stingers, Lemieux has been really solid here, keeping this a 1-0 game for them after one period.
Well, he's been their guy. He faced 12 shots here in the first period, and a lot of them were grade A opportunities. Turns aside 11 of them in that first period. And, you know, the UNB Reds come in here. It's their 8th consecutive appearance, and they show no ill signs when they come into this hockey game of, you know, any sort of nerves. They kind of jump right into it, and we're willing to get at it.
I think they're looking to get it done on home turf for Gardner as well, too.
So we're happy to have Cody Morgan join us here for the interview after the first period. Cody, you get the first period out of the way here on the national stage. A little bit of a delay there. How does your group rally around that, and what was the message going in after that long delay?
Yeah, just trying to stay focused. You know, it was a little bit of a delay. Obviously, that's not planned, but I think we stuck through it, and obviously able to be up 1-0 after the first period. We just got to keep it going and hopefully get the 2 points here.
So take me through the goal that you scored there. Kind of outweighted Lemieux, but take me through the entire play and the work down low by your captain, Wilms.
Yeah, I mean, that guy works his tail off every single day, so I just tried to find a soft spot in the slot, and luckily the puck kind of bounced out, and the pre-scout was he's pretty aggressive, so I just kind of tried to wait it out, go around him, and, you know, luckily I put it in. So
you guys come in here as the AUS champions, 1-0 after one period of play. What's the message going to be here for the last 40 minutes to get yourself through the rest of this hockey game and move on to the semifinals?
Yep, we just got to separate this period. You know, this period's a separation period. We got to make sure we do everything right for 20 minutes and then carry that into the third period.
Well, thank you for joining us, Cody, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Well, you know, he talked about the pre-scout, something that you can learn. I mean, those are the sort of things. Good on him, you know. Cody Morgan, he's a guy that knows how to get it done. He 30 goals last year with London in 21-22. So that's a guy, you know, if you're getting it in, one of the weapons that Gardner McDougall has at his disposal, and they're able to go in, and he's giving them a big 1-0 lead here.
That'll do it from the first period of play. It's 1-0 UNB leading Concordia. You're watching the 2023 Cavendish Farms U Sport University Cup on CBC.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team. The nominees for the Dr. Randy Gregg Award presented to the student who excels in hockey, academics, and community involvement are les candidats pour le prix de Dr. Randy Gregg pour l'excellence dans le hockey, les études et l'engagement communautaire sont des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Matthew Welsh, Université St. Mary's University. Du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Duncan Campbell, Université Queen's University. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Connor Blake, Université Mount Royal University. Le lauréat du prix, le Dr. Randy Gregg pour l'engagement communautaire est, the winner of the Dr. Randy Gregg Award for Community Service is Matthew Welsh, Université St. Mary's University. The nominees for the R.W. Pugh Award presented to the most sportsmanlike player in the regular season are en nomination pour le prix de l'esprit sportif R.W. Pugh, présenté aux joueurs démontrant le plus de l'esprit sportif dans la saison régulière sont des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Troy La Jeunesse, Université de l'Île du Prince-Édouard, UPEI. Du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Kyle Petit, Université Western University. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Matt Fontaine, Université de l'Alberta, University of Alberta. Le lauréat du prix de l'esprit sportif R.W. Pugh, présenté aux joueurs démontrant le plus de l'esprit sportif est, the winner of the R.W. Pugh Fair Play Award presented to the most sportsmanlike player in U Sports men's hockey is Troy La Jeunesse, Université de l'Île du Prince-Édouard, UPEI.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here after one period of play. It's the AUS champion UNB Reds won the OUA consolation winner Concordia Stingers no score. 12-2 the shots on goal, Norman. At the 12:20 mark of the first period, UNB out shooting Concordia 9-1.
Well, I think you can look at two parts. Look at the top stat and look at the bottom stat. I mean, if you're looking at it, there's a reason why they've only had two shots. A lot of them aren't getting through. And that's because the UNBs, they're showing that team commitment to defense. You know, we've often talked about, we flaunt their offensive prowess. That's a team that's committed to team defense. Penalty kill, which we haven't even talked about yet, off the charts good, right? But you're looking at it, I mean, Richard has been virtually untested. The one time, it was almost a little bit of self-inflicted wound that caught it. But, you know, it was really the team effort that was coming in. We're going to see one example here, where, you know, coming up with Connor Hall, just committing. Samuel Pinard doing his job, forcing it on the back end with that back pressure, right? Then you come in here, Ross McDougall, throwing his body in front, creating that potential chance coming in there with the big body of Gerard, who's been really good in the playoff for Concordia. Once again, look at Ross McDougall doing the same thing. That's the sort of thing that's the stuff that wins championships right there, Bo. And it does. It's not pretty and it's not shiny, but very effective.
1-0 for the UNB Reds after one period of play. We'll be back with second period action from the Cavendish Farms U Sport University Cup in just a moment.
This season, catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliance. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
Certaines personnes arrivent à l'université en sachant ce qu'elles vont faire dans la vie. D'autres viennent pour le découvrir. Peu importe la raison, elles trouveront leur chemin à l'Université d'Ottawa. Un chemin vers la connaissance et vers le succès. Vous étudierez avec des professeurs qui sont des leaders dans leur domaine. 89 d'entre eux sont titulaires de chaires de recherche du Canada. Tout au long de votre parcours, des mentors, des conseillers et des accompagnateurs vous appuieront pour que vous développiez votre plein potentiel.
Unbelievable! History has repeated itself!
Get the stories behind the glory. Watch, listen, stream, read CBC Sports.
The nominees for the Claire Drake Award presented to the U Sports Men's Hockey Rookie of the Year are, en nomination pour le prix Claire Drake présenté à la recrue de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport 2023, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Samuel Richard, Université du Nouveau-Brunswick, UNB, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Jonathan Lemieux, Université Concordia University. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Joachim Smallwood, Université de l'Alberta, University of Alberta. Le lauréat du prix Claire Drake présenté à la recrue de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport A, the winner of the Claire Drake Award as the U Sports Men's Hockey Rookie of the Year is Samuel Richard, Université du Nouveau-Brunswick, UNB.
Some people come to university knowing exactly what they want to do in life. Others come to discover it. Either way, there's a path for them at U Ottawa. A path to knowledge, a path to success. You study with professors who are leaders in their field. 89 of them hold Canada Research Chairs. Along your path, you will find student mentors, counselors, and coaches. All there to give you the support you need to be the best you can be.
The nominees for the Senator Joseph A. Sullivan Trophy as the U Sports Men's Hockey Player of the Year are, en nomination pour le trophée du sénateur Joseph A. Sullivan présenté à l'athlète de l'année U-Sport en hockey masculin, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Liam Howell, Université Saint-FX University, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Simon Lafrance, Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, UQTR. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Riley Sawchuk, Université Mount Royal University. Le lauréat du trophée Joseph A. Sullivan décerné au joueur de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport A, the winner of the Senator Joseph A. Sullivan Trophy as the U Sports Player of the Year in men's hockey is Simon Lafrance, Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, UQTR. The nominees for the Defenseman of the Year in U Sports Men's Hockey are, en nomination pour le prix du défenseur de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport 2023, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Matt Brassard, Université de l'Île-du-Prince-Édouard, UPEI, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Justin Bergeron, Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, UQTR. et de l'Association ouest canadienne from Canada West, Connor Hobbs, l'Université de la Saskatchewan, University of Saskatchewan. Le défenseur de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport est, the U-Sports Men's Hockey Defenseman of the Year is, Connor Hobbs, Université de la Saskatchewan, University of Saskatchewan. Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here for period number 2. There's a good look at the two guys with the big pads and the special helmets in Jonathan Lemieux and Samuel Richard. Kind of the tale of two tapes here through one period of play. Lemieux been stellar, turning inside 11. Richard's had a lot of help from his teammates. 7 block shots there in the first period, and he'll look to get back into the fray here and keep himself into the mix.
Well, one's certainly sweatier than the other based on that first period performance, Bo, but you know, I think the way UNB is setting up here, that was a very, very dominant period. They had great pace to their play. Concordia is going to have to rely, and they're going to have to see if they can generate something here through the zone, because they're just not getting to those inside lanes, getting into the dirty areas, which they're going to have to get to. The big bodies, Legon Till, Nick Girard. This line here has been fantastic in the playoffs for Concordia. They're going to have to get unglued a little bit here, see if they can lead the charge in this second period against the UNB team, which had a very strong first period.
Noah Carroll will control for UNB. Wilms will play it in. It's knocked down by a glove and controlled there by Girard. Tremblay will play it in, and Carroll comes in and takes a high stick, but it's going to be called, both officials with their arm in the air. And the UNB Reds are going to start this play out on the power play.
Well, the question was, I mean, it was DeGrossier came in. Is that who it was? Samuel DeGrossier came in. High stick on the play, no question. Both guys in the arm up. That's a pretty good indicator that there was not much doubt in the call. So big chance here for the Reds to increase their lead 2-0 early. See if they can pull a page out of the UQTR Patriots playbook from this afternoon, as they came out and got a goal early in the second period to stretch their lead as well too. But looks like they're changing up the person here, so it looks like it's going to be Charles Tremblay who gets in, not DeGrossier.
So it'll be a face-off down
and one of the digits right anyway, Bo. It wasn't 4, it was 24.
Down to the right of Lemieux. UNB's second look here in the power play in the hockey game, leading by a score of 1-0. Wilms will control the face-off back up top to McCormick. McCormick to Gilmore. Gilmore back to McCormick. He'll quickly blast one through, and Lemieux will make the save. Pinar comes back to McCormick, tries to work it wide. It's off a stick to Gilmore. Brady Gilmore. Near side boards, half wall up top to McCormick. McCormick back to Gilmore. One touches into the bumper play, and Wilms got a shot. He fired it way wide in the glove side. Played back there by Keating, and it'll come back down the length of the ice, and Richard will have to stop it there for McCormick.
You looked at Brady Gilmore doing what he does well, dishing the puck, trying to find the guys open. That's what his strong suit is, and he was trying to make it work through on the bumper position. Couldn't quite execute.
Wilms on the puck pursuit will get it back. Pinar, far side boards, works it from low to high to low, and then it'll come back up top to McCormick. Back to Pinar. Far side, top of the circle, along the wall, comes down low, tries to find Keating, bounces off the back dasher to Gilmore. Gilmore into the middle to Wilms. Wilms tied up there with Girard, and it's played outside the line, and now a neutral zone counter. Here's Gilmore. Gilmore up over the blue line. He'll try and take it wide on Innes, driving shoulder down, wraps it around side of the goal, and turn back. Pinard to Gilmore, works it in. Here's a shot in front. Keating with a whack. Pinard with a wide open net. Sailed it wide of the goaltender Lemieux. On the rebound opportunity, here's Gilmore. Rink wide feed comes to Wilms. 26 seconds left here in the power play. Comes outside the line. McCormick for the Reds. Sends it rink wide, and they were headed for a change, so Concordia will regain possession here, and Innes will send that one down length of the ice onto Richard, and he'll be able to play that puck loose. Ross McDougall now sends it to Sproul. He was in full stride there as he tried to pick that puck up. It'll go up into the UNB chance, and I'll tell you what an opportunity here with a gaping net.
Wow, Samuel Pinard. I mean, there you see Gilmore dishes it off. Nice little play down there on net by Wilms. Puck pops loose. Look at that. Wide open there. Samuel Pinard could not put her home. Going to get another look at it here. We'll see it. Again, they just throw it in the front of the net. Keating pops her loose with the foot. Look at that. Oh, baby.
Keating in front. He was ready to celebrate that when he had the stick sliding down. So back to five-a-side hockey here. The Stingers able to get their second minor killed off. Here's good 2 for 2 in the penalty kill against this potent UNB power play. On the ice, keeping it alive. That was Corbet. Gets it to Sproul. Sproul plays it back up top to Carroll. Carroll to Sproul. He'll fire. That one blocked by Martineau. Carson gets a whack at it. Tries to put it towards the goal. Here's another opportunity. Stick lifted in front by Martineau, and it's played back through the neutral zone. Here's Felix Martineau. Waits for Campbell to touch up. Tries to send that one into the zone.
Another good step for Ross McDougall there, Bo. Stopped potentials. Isaiah Campbell had him on the wing going in. If he didn't get that stick on it, Campbell was gone.
16:42 left to go in the second period. UNB leading by a score of 1-0, and that one will go for icing. CBC Sports is your home for the 2023 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship presented by Mikas. From Vancouver, catch the best in university women's volleyball starting Friday on CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca, and CBC Olympics YouTube channel. Concordia will control it off the face-off here, trying to generate an opportunity towards Richard. Up over the line, and McKay plays it in. It's a long stretch feed and chipped into the zone there by Highland, and Richard will leave it there for Carroll. Carroll tied up in behind the goal, but Concordia unable to make anything happen. Here's McKay streaking up, and Nurse driving the goal. McKay in behind, looking for an option. He'll come out from behind, tries to center one. Lemieux again with that stick will intercept and allows Paymal to come up over the line. He'll send one rink wide to Biziet. Nolet can't handle that one, but it'll come to Isaac Nurse. Here's Nurse up over the line for the Reds. He'll play one off, and Baber will play it in, head off for a change. Cody Morgan makes a read there in the boards and tries to dish one into the middle to Keating. Tyler Highland back to Christopher Innes. Innes makes a play to the streaking forward, driving it into the zone here. Make that the defenseman, Havlana, who works it down underneath the goal line, tries to shovel one out, and Richard is going to knock it down with the glove. They get their first shot here in the period, so they got to start to generate a little bit more towards the goal of Samuel Richard.
Well, you're looking at a guy like Havlina just looking to try and make something coming in from the back end, and you know, Havlina's an interesting guy. Him and a couple of other players on the Concordia team, creating their old business world at the old John Molson School of Business. You get Tremblay and him. A little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit going on with their businesses that they have going on. A couple of ball hockey programs there from Tremblay, and Havlina does a little program in the West Island there that creates all kinds of interest for the local kids in the area.
Keating center one out, intended for Wilms. It's bounced back, and here comes Prohl driving the goal with Giguère. 2-on-1. Prohl to Giguère. He took it on the backhand, rolls off, down into the near side corner boards. Here's Prohl. Gets it down low, a centering feed in the feet of Haggerty-Aubin. And Keating will float one forward, head in on the forecheck here. Now Rochelle will skate it around and come back to the blue line. Hall will fire one in. Lemieux will take a stab at it with the blocker, put it down into the corner. Carroll spins away from one check, gets it down, and Pinard from the line. He'll step into one, wire one wide. Hall again plays it down. Here's Patizian, he'll fire a knuckle puck towards the goal. Lemieux had to blocker that one away. A tough save there for Jonathan Lemieux. Gilmore down low. Comes to Poole for the Stingers, and he'll loft one through the neutral zone. Hall turns and chases that one down. Watched by Giguère. He's in behind the goal of Richard. Here's Connor Hall. Plays it up to Brady Gilmore. Gilmore takes a stab at it, and it's still in the neutral zone. Able to skate into it here. Girard for the Stingers. Tried to play it back to Anstill, and it comes to Petitien. Petitien, near side boards, will play it in. Take a body check there from Tremblay. Back into the neutral zone. Anstill plays it to Tremblay. Tremblay will play it in. Girard will forecheck after McCormick, who picks it up from Samuel Richard. He'll spin away, work it back to the near side, and Nolay gets it up to Sproul. He'll send one rink wide over to Corbet. Corbet will chip it in. Macaulay Carson will go in on the forecheck. It's rimmed on around by Desgrosiers. Tremblay through the middle of the ice. Puck picked off there by Emmett Sproul. Sproul watched there by two Concordia Stingers forwards as he continues to try and forge forward. Girard will play it back to Levine. Levine over to Desgrosiers and tried to find Tremblay, was picking up his glove and stick, and that will be icing.
Well, there was a couple of good chances there as Michael Petitien was going in earlier here. You're going to see the play. It looks like he was, I think Jonathan Lemieux was thinking he was going left, but then it goes over to his right. He made, it wasn't a very hard shot. Petitien didn't get a whole lot on it, but Lemieux was guessing left, had to go at the last minute, threw the blocker up, caught it to keep this a 1-0 game.
Face-off down, and Austin Keating for the UNB Reds will rim it on around. McDougall pinching in from the blue line will backhand one to Morgan, who's covering at the point. He'll try and fire one. That's off a stick and rolls down into the far side corner boards. It's rimmed around. Connor Hall at the blue line floats one through, just looking for a stick. Couldn't find one. It goes wide. Here's Wilms now. Wilms will put one up in the air, and Morgan will knock it down with his stick. Try and backhand one over to Keating, but Stingers are able to push forward. Tremblay. Hall plays it up, and that one knocked down into the neutral zone with 12:29 left to go here in the second period. UNB leading 1-0. The scoreboard says shots 16-2 in their favor.
Well, you know, this has been a very defensive-oriented game. We're looking at Concordia's had a couple of situations here where they were able to generate something off. Usually came off an inopportune pinch coming from the UNB defenseman. Apart from that, they haven't been able to get anything generated. You know, you saw Kyle Havlina trying to get something going earlier, but they're just being frustrated by the, and that's that swarm mentality that UNB has. They don't allow you to generate much. They get in on the attack in a hurry, and they come at, they get at, they close off gaps quickly during the neutral zone. They're doing a very effective job of that here in this first 28 minutes of this game.
Nurse up over the blue line, and that one's offside at the line, to the ill effect of the fans here at the Eastlink Center.
Well, this is a rare shift coming out. Of course, his Baberline not playing a whole lot here tonight. It seems that Gardner's quite content to go with his top three units, spotting in that fourth line here and there. I think that might be their second or third shift here in this game. So, you know, you're going to be looking at it. They're down. Basically, Chris McQuaid hasn't seen any ice time here tonight. The Island boy, the sixth defenseman. So Gardner's clearly decided that he's going to roll three lines, five defensemen, to see if that can lead him to success in this game.
Petitien up over the line. He'll play one in first side. And coming back is Campbell. Campbell will play it off the boards, bounce it to Martineau. Martineau gloves it down, rims it on around, and Carroll will try and meet here. Up through the neutral zone. Petitien off the stick of Carroll, and that one will go up and out of play. So the second game of the quarterfinals happening right now. Quarterfinal number 3 will be at 12 o'clock Atlantic time here tomorrow as the OUA runner-up Windsor Lancers play the Alberta Golden Bears in what's shaping up to be one of those matchups that have a little bit of extra flair around it, Norm.
Well, I think, you know, Windsor's going to be coming in. They're going to be a bit of a burr in their bonnet. As you know, this is a team that lost that triple overtime thriller in the Queen's Cup final, and I think they're going to be coming in. I think they're going to surprise some teams in this tournament.
Turned and fired there by Vizier and blocked it away by Richard. His first save of the period here in period number 2. A long-range shot off the blocker. Highland hard in the back pressure, tries to cause havoc, hops over the stick of Lemieux on the dump in and played down by the Stingers. High on the horse there was Paymal, could not beat out the icing call, and we'll get an offensive zone face-off here for the UNB Reds with 11:14 left to go in the second period.
Face-offs have really been something that we like to watch here, Bo, in terms of looking at it overall. Fairly neutral in this game here tonight, very indicative of the play. Only 14-12 in favor of the Reds, but really not much happening. And you know, we're looking at one of their better guys out here. Wilms wins one there. He's a guy that they'll be counted on for that in this game.
Wilms will turn and fire. That one blocked away, and Vizier is able to get it out into the neutral zone. Lofted back, Keating knocks it down with the glove. Wilms has Morgan going to the net. Wilms tries to force one across. That one closed off there by Levine. Here's Carroll. He'll fire a high one up and over, and Vizier will play it down. It's out of the reach, but hurt on the horse, Giguere. He's going to beat out that icing call against Connor Hall. Hall, though, able to get his stick on it, play it off to Carroll. Carroll will send it up and off the boards. Keating in behind him, and Lavoie. Here's Lavoie in behind the goal. He'll slow things down. There's a long stretch pass that will bounce into the Concordia Stingers bench, and we'll get another whistle. This time, 10:25 remaining in period number 2.
Well, Concordia looking if they could stretch something out a little bit differently there. Sean LaRochelle trying to find the offside winger, Giguere, looking to see if they could maybe generate something. They're not able to do it by quick puck movement through the middle. La Rochelle trying to find a different option, not having much success with that either.
There's a face-off win from Brady Gilmore. Ross McDougall tried to play it in off the skate of Petizian. Lemieux was out to rim it on around. Gilmore stops it off, plays it down low. Petizian from behind the goal will come out far side. He spin away and work it back to the near side boards. He'll spin away again. He's in behind the goal. Michael Petizian working that puck all by himself, waiting for some help. He'll lose that puck, and Girard will start it out. Tremblay plays it in. Girard will go in on the forecheck for the Stingers. Quickly turning it back up, though. There's Gilmore to Petizian. Petizian stood up through the neutral zone by Innes. Here's McCormick streaking to the goal. Tried to backhand one. That'll roll wide, but what a body check here. You can hear it right up in the booth as Innes steps into Petizian.
Didn't miss him at all. Great, good, clean check by Chris Innes coming up, stepping up. Love to see that.
There he is again.
Two of them. Double D on, he says.
Here's an opportunity. Martineau tipped off the stick. Richard has to come out and play that one off the glass as Campbell and Martineau are coming back. Here's a pickoff. Kataranakis up over the line. He'll try and stick it around. Will sauce one across. Martineau was waiting for it, but on the back pressure, that was intercepted by Nolay. Nurse, he'll feel the pressure. Backhand one down, and it's a foot race between McKay and Havlana, but wow, Christopher Innes, there's a look at him. What a shift if you're looking for a momentum shift.
Well, he blasted Petizian in the first one. Then they're coming right back. Felix Martineau says, you know what? I'm going to get in on the action as well, too. Going to see it coming up. There's the first one. Great body check as he sends Michael Petizian flying. Petizian's not big in stature, but he's hard. He plays hard. And here you come again, Justin Nolay driving it in. Martineau sees him. He did us once again. Love stuff like that.
Here's Highland back to DeGrossier. Tries to make a play. Full towards the net there and off a body in front. McKay gets it off, and here comes the Reds up over the line. It's Baber, and that one will go offside. 8:40 left to go in the second period here from the East Link Center. UNB Reds leading the Concordia Stingers by a score of 1-0.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Some people come to university knowing exactly what they want to do in life. Others come to discover it. Either way, there's a path for them at U Ottawa. A path to knowledge, a path to success. You study with professors who are leaders in their field. 89 of them hold Canada Research Chairs. Along your path, you will find student mentors, counselors, and coaches. All there to give you the support you need to be the best you can be.
There's a good look at Jonathan Lemieux. He's turned aside 15 of 16 so far here tonight in the goal of the Concordia Stingers. Goaltender of the year, rookie of the year, first team all-star in the OUA. He's been some stellar in the goal, hasn't he, Norm?
Well, I think that was one of his best sequence right there, coming in, and Pinard had Samuel Pinard going in a couple of times on him. He was able to turn him at bay. You know, the thing is, the one goal that he did get beaten on was a great play by Cody Morgan. Waited him out, got a little bit of a fortunate bounce there as Samuel Pinard couldn't get anything on that one, missed the gaping 4x6 cage. Petizian, a little flutterer, caused real havoc for Jonathan Lemieux, but he was able to keep that one aside as well. But he's keeping his team in it. Concordia's got a bit of life here, Bo, after that last sequence. Bit of a change here in the momentum. Let's see if they can build off it.
Gonna start to get some pucks on net here. Highland in behind, a centering feed in front. McDougall sprawled out again. Back to the point. Here's Levine. Levine will cycle it back down low. Here's a centering feed from DeGrussier that doesn't get through. Keating now tries to bang that one out. Highland will play it back down low. Carroll crosses one over to McDougall. McDougall looks for the feed, gets Wilms streaking through the middle. They're 3-on-2 back the other way. Austin Keating, top of the circle, near side boards, tries to float one in. It'll roll wide to Cody Morgan. Morgan over to Keating, a backdoor feed intended for Wilms, again intercepted by Lemieux. He's been stellar with that goal stick and intercepting pucks that are in close to his goal, making his job a lot easier in the save category. Here's McCormick. Up over the blue line now for the Reds. He'll dish one in. Macaulay Carson will fire one. And what a nice look there from Adam McCormick. We talked about Ross McDougall and what he brings to this team. Here's another one of those guys in Adam McCormick.
Wow,
what a feed.
I mean, he's been a high-end player ever since he came into this UNB Reds. Good play, good patience. Wait for the defenseman to overcommit. Macaulay Carson did the right thing. Fortunately, Lemieux had good positioning with the glove. Macaulay Carson shoots it right in the mitt, but a great play there by that number 8. Solid defender here for the UNB Reds program.
Here's Corbet. He'll streak one down under the goal line. Lavoie will close him off. Sproul will kick it free, and it'll come back to Connor Hall at the blue line. Hall leaves one in, and here's Sproul. He'll fire that one off the shin pad of Anstill. Lavoie takes a whack at it, but it's the Reds' Macaulay Carson. Down low to Sproul. Sproul back to Carson. He'll fire one, and Lemieux with traffic in front will stick it aside. Here's McCormick. McCormick tries to wrap it around. Lemieux down. Sproul jamming away for it, but Lemieux covers up.
Well, there you go. This line doing their thing once again. You know, we talked about this being probably, arguably, one of the best lines for UNB in the playoffs. Just a workmanlike effort, but again, a great read by Adam McCormick, recognizing that there was an opportunity to jump in the play. What does Sproul do? Drive hard to the net, almost cashes in the rebound. But there you see that engagement in the back end. That's that reading, anticipating, seeing what you have, jump in when you can, activate when you can. That's a real difference maker, and that's what UNB really does well when those guys are activating from the back end, coupled with the high offense skill that UNB has. That makes it difficult for a goalie like Jonathan Lemieux.
6:50 left to go here in period number 2. UNB leading by a score of 1-0, out shooting Concordia 19-3, 7-1 here in period number 2. Martineau wins the face-off with some help from Innes, and they'll loft one up through the neutral zone. Kataranakis leaves it there for Felix Martineau. Martineau will fire, and a good save there by Richard with the blocker. Nole will intercept it, work it back. Petizian, quick up ice. Pinar driving the net. Petizian tried to find him. Innes, who's had himself a whale of a period, intercepts and starts it back up ice. Hill again. Loft one through the neutral zone. McDougall couldn't handle it. Nole has to go back underneath the goal line. Nole to Petizian. Petizian plays it in, and there's Christopher Innes in behind the goal. Innes reverses one back over to his partner, Des Grussier. Back to Innes. Innes tries to find Beezer, and it will roll into the Concordia bench. We'll get another whistle. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in period number 2.
We're seeing a lot of back and forth play coming here, Bose, where both teams are eager to get. You got one of those feelings here. 4 shots on net here for Concordia. They're on track for a 10-shot game. When do you ever hear of something like that? A team giving up 10 shots in the national championship. Only 10 shots. But that speaks to the quality of defensive structure that UNB has going in this game. But you know what? Concordia is still hanging around. You got that feeling that something could potentially bulge here at any time.
They're looking for something to get that offensive feel. Could it happen here? Paymal up over the line. He'll play it to Highland. Highland up top, just inside the blue line. Tries to spin away, and Nurse. There's the momentum that they were looking for. Delayed penalty coming up. Highland tries to fire and breaks his stick. Better now than on the power play if you're Tyler Highland. But the Concordia Stingers, they're looking for a momentum shift. They're going to head to the power play.
They just got it. I was thinking there that there might have been almost 2 calls in the play. Definitely a hook here coming from Isaac Nurse. And it looked like he stripped the puck. You see it's going to come there. He gets the stick up and the hand off the stick. I thought that they might have called one there, and Tyler Highland coming back, he might have got away with it. But I call that even now, because I think Jason Wilms got away with one in that first goal by Cody Morgan. So we'll call that a draw here for tonight.
Here's Martineau will turn and fire and look for a lane to drive it past Richard, but Richard there to make the save.
Well, that's what you want to do. I mean, they're getting something going here on the offense. Just win that puck. You know, a collective effort to win that draw. Pops loose. You get the quick pass there going in from Tremblay to Felix Martineau. He's been the hot hand in the playoffs. That's the guy you want shooting it. Good save by Samuel Richard.
Concordia's power play in the playoffs, 27.8%, just an absolute spitfire, and they're looking for a momentum shift here to try and tie this game back up. Here's Martineau on the half wall boards, closed off by Carroll. Work down, and here's Tremblay. Tremblay sends it rink wide across through the middle. LaRoche to Tremblay. Tremblay will fire, blockered away by Richard, glove down by Petizian. He tries to rim it on around. It's sticked again, but La Rochelle will keep it in. Down low, there's Campbell. Isaiah Campbell is battling for that puck. It'll come back to the point again. Sean La Rochelle gets it in the middle. Martineau scores! What a beauty play into the bumper by Tremblay. Finds Felix Martineau, and just like that in the power play, the Stingers get the shift they were looking for.
You felt the momentum. You felt the momentum coming back, and again, a great puck distribution. It comes back to the point. Sean La Rochelle protects it, walks into the middle, creates the open space, draws Jason Wilms up to the top of the umbrella. One-time pass from Tremblay, wastes no time. Felix Martineau. We got a new hockey game here, Bo.
So the captain, Felix Martineau, gets his Stingers team on the board and ties things back up here. Laid down and picked up. It'll come back. There's Innes at the blue line. Innes will turn and fire. That one blocked away. Sproul will play it over to Macaulay Carson with Corbeil up over the line. Carson will spin away. Works into the middle. Here's McCormick. He'll fire and down to block. That one there was Haggerty O'Ban. Innes up through the neutral zone and played Sproul. Sproul tries to get it back to Corbeil. Innes steps up and then retreats back inside the line. Carson to Corbeil. Corbeil will play it in, and Here's Christopher Innes into the middle of the ice, played off to Giguère. Giguère off the glass, back into the neutral zone. 3:50 left to go here in period number 2. Through the middle of the ice, Emmett Sproul will play it off the glass. Christopher Innes will reach and control and then try and loft one back out. Sproul picks it off the line. He'll dish one across. Corbeil with Gilmore driving the goal on the half wall. He'll just float one in behind. Sproul will take a whack at it. Comes to the front of the goal, but it's Giguère who will turn it back up ice. Anstill tries to make a play over to Tremblay. Giguère will play it in, head off for a change, and Connor Hall will take it out from behind the UNB goal, get it off to Gilmore. Gilmore rink wide to Nolay. Nolay will send one down and in. Lemieux out with the stick. He'll rim one around, and that one will come to the blue line. Carroll off the bench as Tremblay collides with the linesman there at the blue line. Desgrosiers will play it in, delayed offside. The Reds have some time here to break that puck out. Rolls off the stick of McDougall. Tremblay through the ice. Offside waved off. He'll try and fire. McDougall blocks on the backhand. Back to Tremblay. Tried to work it back to Levine. He'll get it now. Gilmore to McDougall. McDougall up to the half wall to Brady Gilmore. He sends one into open ice, and taking a whack at it there was Desgrosiers. McDougall off the boards. Gets it out into the neutral zone. There's Hyland. Hyland works it back. It comes rink wide to Paymal. Paymal will chip it in and battle there with Noah Carroll. Near side boards. Down in the corner. Puck pinned up along the yellow kick pike as 3 UNB Reds look on with 2:15 left to go here in a tie hockey game. Most recent goal coming off the stick of Felix Martineau to tie things back up on the power play. Worked loose here. A puck centered in front. Here's an opportunity. Lavoie had the puck on his stick in the slot. He just sailed it wide on the glove side.
Wow, you talk about to being opportunistic right there as Nathan Lavoie was coming in. He's had himself a great playoff, 5 points in the playoffs. Hasn't got a goal yet, but that might have been one of his best opportunities to crack that goose egg.
Here's Nurse up over the line. Isaac Nurse tries to go to the backhand. Here he is. Nurse turns top of the circle, sends it back down low. Here's McKay. McKay trying to work it out here as he battles along the boards. He gets it to Isaac Nurse. Nurse will come out top of the circle on the backhand, tries to float one in front. Bizier was down and was able to pick that one off, and another puck sent back. Hard on the horse. Here's Campbell against Hall. Campbell puts the shoulder into Hall, comes out with that puck. Isaiah Campbell will drop it off, and there's a puck sent into the far side corner. Connor Hall will skate into it. Comes back. Innes takes a shot, and that's off of Carson. At the blue line, here's Innes. He'll keep it in on the backhand as he floats it down underneath the goal line. Campbell battling for it there with McCormick. This Stingers team, they've found some momentum since scoring and tying this one back up. They're hard into the forecheck. Here's one loft through the neutral zone. Innes will knock it down. Play it back into the neutral zone. 40 seconds left to go here in the second period. Lemieux in behind the goal. Havlana trying to come in. He'll swing that puck away. Plays it up, and McDougall will catch it for UNB on his stick. McDougall to Corbeil. Rink wide to Petizian. Petizian tries to push it by Innes. He'll get it down low. Noah Carroll into the mix for the Reds. Battling for that puck. 15 seconds left to go. Martineau tries to drop one back. Carroll sends it down low to Petizian. Here's Michael Petizian up top. McDougall will step into one. Giguère will take that one off the stick. It'll ricochet down into the corner boards, and the Concordia Stingers will rim it on around and feel the end of the second period. Tied up at 1. The Stingers are able to answer back. They get a couple of more shots after that, and are they really able to generate off of that power play opportunity?
Well, it was a new game after that 15-minute mark when they get back onto their, we talked earlier about that, Bo, about there was just kind of a feeling that something might have been able to give on the Concordia part. UNB really wasn't giving them anything up until that particular instance, but you know what? They hung around, and they converted when they got the opportunity in the power play. And you look back at that game this afternoon. What was the difference in that game? David Noel's goal in the power play to give UQTR that lead. St. Mary's does not convert in their own double power play to a double minor penalty. But here they go. They get a chance. Concordia has converted when given the opportunity.
We get a chance to catch up with Felix Martineau here for the Concordia Stingers. Sur le niveau de la patinoire, c'est le capitaine Félix Martineau. Félix, a été un début de match un peu difficile pour vous, mais il semblerait qu'au milieu de la deuxième période, quelque chose aurait changé au sein de votre équipe. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
C'est sûr qu'un événement gros comme ça, des fois, quand ça fait longtemps que tu n'as pas vécu ça, les nerfs sont un petit peu dans le tapis, mais je pense qu'au fur et à mesure que la game est allée, on a trouvé notre rythme. Puis à la fin de la période, c'est vraiment les Steelers de Concordia, les vrais qu'on voyait. Là.
Et là, ça a été un défi pour vous. Vous deviez faire face à l'un des meilleurs désavantages numériques du circuit, mais vous avez réussi à trouver un but. Parle-moi un peu de la séquence sur laquelle tu as retrouvé le fond du filet.
C'est sûr qu'on a eu quelques chances avant le but. On s'est bien placé. On a trouvé une petite opportunité. Il y avait un joueur pas trop loin de moi quand j'ai lancé, mais il est allé dans le fond du filet et on est bien content.
Et même quand vous manœuvrez bien avec la rondelle, vous trouvez les bonnes passes, la défensive de UNB qui est capable de se placer devant les lancers et bloquer les angles de tir. C'est quoi les ajustements que vous allez devoir amener en troisième période pour retrouver plus de lancers vers Samuel Richard?
C'est sûr qu'il y a de les faire bouger, de faire peut-être des feintes de lancer pour pouvoir passer autour d'eux autres. Ça va être quelque chose qui va être important pour nous. Mais sinon, c'est juste de continuer à jouer notre game comme on est capable de faire, puis les choses vont bien aller.
Merci beaucoup pour ton temps, Félix, et bonne chance pour le reste du match et pour le reste du tournoi.
Merci beaucoup, j'apprécie.
That was Félix Martineau, the captain of Concordia, talking about how after they had a bit of a difficult start, they really found their rhythm and they felt that they were coming together, and they talked about the latter part of that period really showing what the Concordia team was about. He also talked about the power play, how they felt that they had a couple of good chances beforehand, but then they were able to get the body in front, and Félix felt that was really a difference that was coming in. That enabled them to get into the goals, too, and he talked about adjusting for the third period.
1-1 after 2 periods of play, setting up for a barn burner of a third between the UNB Reds and the Concordia Stingers.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
The nominees for the Goaltender of the Year in U Sports Men's Hockey are, en nomination pour le prix du gardien de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport 2023, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Samuel Richard, Université du Nouveau-Brunswick, UNB. Du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Nathan Torkia, Université de Windsor, University of Windsor. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Carl Tetachuk, Université de Calgary, University of Calgary. Le gardien de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport est, the 2023 U-Sports Goaltender of the Year is, Nathan Torkia, Université de Windsor, University of Windsor. The nominees for the Defenseman of the Year in U Sports Men's Hockey are, en nomination pour le prix du Défenseur de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport 2023, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Matt Brassard, Université de l'Île-du-Prince-Édouard, UPEI. Du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Justin Bergeron, Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, UQTR. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Connor Hobbs, l'Université de la Saskatchewan, University of Saskatchewan. Le défenseur de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport est, the U-Sports Men's Hockey Defenseman of the Year is, Connor Hobbs, Université de la Saskatchewan, University of Saskatchewan.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center. After 2 periods of play, the UNB Reds all tied up with the Concordia Stingers at 1 goal apiece. Faceoffs dead even. Block shots, we've seen the Stingers kind of rise to the occasion. Shots on goal 19-7. At one point in that period, they were 18-2. So after Concordia scores that goal, they come with a push, and it was a lot more of an even pitcher in the first period.
Well, you know what is it? The Stingers pulled a bit of the page out of UPI. You look at the block shots number. I mean, the UNB 2 in this period, 4 for the Stingers in this one here as well too. So, you know, they learned a little bit of lesson in that first period, and they come back. To their credit, they hung with it. Lemieux was good when he had to be. Then they were coming back, and they converted the importance. We see the importance of power play coming in. And this is where the real difference has been so far. You know, UNB, they get on the mark first, and in that first period, and they were able to happen. You know, they were getting in the forecheck. You know, think of a bit of a great play by Cody Morgan coming in, outweighted Lemieux, open cage, beautiful goal to get things got going here. And another equally strong goal from Concordia coming back in the power play. Great puck distribution, protect it there at the blue line, walk the blue line, draw the forward out, make it happen. Quick one-touch pass, one-touch shot. Bingo, bango, back of the net. There's your story right there and coming back. And there you see the celebration of the Stingers. They're back in this game.
Tied at 1 after 2 periods of play. It's a third period you're not going to want to miss from the U-Cup U-Sports Championship here in Charlottetown. We'll be back with the third period in just a few moments.
This season, catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliance. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
Certaines personnes arrivent à l'université en sachant ce qu'elles vont faire dans la vie. D'autres viennent pour le découvrir. Peu importe la raison, elles trouveront leur chemin à l'Université d'Ottawa. Un chemin vers la connaissance et vers le succès. Vous étudierez avec des professeurs qui sont des leaders dans leur domaine. 89 d'entre eux sont titulaires de chaires de recherche du Canada. Tout au long de votre parcours, des mentors, des conseillers et des accompagnateurs vous appuieront pour que vous développiez votre plein potentiel.
Unbelievable! History has repeated itself!
Get the stories behind the glory. Watch, listen, stream, read CBC Sports.
Some people come to university knowing exactly what they want to do in life. Others come to discover it. Either way, there's a path for them at U Ottawa. A path to knowledge, a path to success. You study with professors who are leaders in their field. 89 of them hold Canada Research Chairs. Along your path, you will find student mentors, counselors, and coaches. All there to give you the support you need to be the best you can be.
The nominees for the Claire Drake Award presented to the U Sports Men's Hockey Rookie of the Year are, en nomination pour le prix Claire Drake présenté à la recrue de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport 2023, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Samuel Richard, Université du Nouveau-Brunswick, UNB, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Jonathan Lemieux, Université Concordia University. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Joachim Smallwood, Université de l'Alberta, University of Alberta. Le lauréat du prix Claire Drake présenté à la recrue de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport A, the winner of the Claire Drake Award as the U Sports Men's Hockey Rookie of the Year is Samuel Richard, Université du Nouveau-Brunswick, UNB. The nominees for the Senator Joseph A. Sullivan Trophy as the U Sports Men's Hockey Player of the Year are, en nomination pour le trophée du sénateur Joseph A. Sullivan présenté à l'athlète de l'année U-Sport en hockey masculin, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Liam Howell, Université Saint-FX University, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Simon Lafrance, Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, UQTR. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Riley Sawchuk, Université Mount Royal University. Le lauréat du trophée Joseph A. Sullivan décerné au joueur de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport A, the winner of the Senator Joseph A. Sullivan Trophy as the U Sports Player of the Year in men's hockey is Simon Lafrance, Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, UQTR. The nominees for the R.W. Pugh Award presented to the most sportsmanlike player in the regular season are, en nomination pour le prix de l'esprit sportif R.W. Pugh, présenté aux joueurs démontrant le plus de l'esprit sportif dans la saison régulière sont, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Troy La Jeunesse, Université de l'Île du Prince-Édouard, UPEI, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Kyle Petit, Université Western University. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Matt Fontaine, Université de l'Alberta, University of Alberta. Le lauréat du prix de l'esprit sportif R.W. Pugh, présenté aux joueurs démontrant le plus de l'esprit sportif, est the winner of the R.W. Pugh Fair Play Award presented to the most sportsmanlike player in U-Sports men's hockey is Troy La Jeunesse, Université de l'Île du Prince-Édouard, UPEI. Hey U-Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
And welcome back into the Eastlink Center here for Game 2 of the quarterfinal series between the Concordia Stingers and the number 6 Concordia Stingers and the number 3 ranked UNB Reds. You're getting a good look at two players who are going to be playing pivotal roles here in the course of this game as we get going, as Jonathan Lemieux has been stellar here for the Concordia Stingers, keeping his team into the game, as their captain Felix Martineau was able to get them back in and allow them to be able to continue in their pursuit for trying to punch their ticket into the semifinals tomorrow, as we will be continuing on the road to the U Cup here, the 2023 Cavendish Farms U Cup here from Charlottetown. It's going to be interesting here in this third period, Bo.
Yeah, it's really shaping up here, of course, with Concordia being able to tie this game up. We'll see what we know this UNB team very well, Norman, and we talked about Concordia hanging around there, and they were able to get that goal to create a little bit of momentum.
Well, and the thing is, right now, what's going to be the experience factor? I guess that's kind of the question for me. Is what is that going to play here? We've got two inexperienced goaltenders coming into these big situations. Technically, you might give the nod a little bit to UNB, but you know what? You got to give credit to Concordia. They've really come to life ever since they got that goal from their captain.
Wilms Harden in the forecheck gets it off to Macaulay Carson, and they'll gum it up along the boards down in the far side corner. Worked out by Hevlana, but it comes right to Nurse. He'll turn and fire, sends it wide, gets it off the backboard, can't get the shot through. Isaac Nurse, a dog and a bone for this UNB Reds team. He's dynamic forward, great speed, hard in the forecheck. Just one of those guys that get the job done for Gardner McDougall, and he creates some momentum here early in period number 1.
Well, Gardner trying to get a little bit of throwing the lines in the blender, breaking up the Macaulay Carson line, which has been arguably his best line, throwing a quick shift combination, and it paid immediate dividends to start off this third period with some jump.
Here's Pinar, gets the pass from McDougall, back to Ross McDougall, coming in top of the circle, look for the redirection, driving the goal by Petesian, and there's Christopher Innes. He had himself
he's having a game.
Heck of a second period, and he's going to start right off where he left off here in period number 3.
Great read is Ross McDougall. He was reading Ross McDougall's mind the whole way as McDougall faked the pass, faked the shot, tried to drill it over back door, but Chris Ennis, good defensive awareness on his part to take away a really good scoring chance for the Reds here early on. They've come out with some jump, Bo. They kind of lost it in the latter part of that period. The break may have served them well.
Face-off will come in front of the Concordia bench just outside the blue line. Martineau against Gilmore. Gilmore will get the exit, and Pinar will come in to take it. Felix Martineau tied things up here for the Concordia Stingers, and he'll win that face-off back to Hevlana. He'll play it up through the neutral zone. McDougall gets a stick on it, tries to push it back the other way. Martineau intercepts, gets it off, and here's Felix Martineau, sticked away by McDougall as Martineau tried to gain a stride. They're down into the corner, still battling McDougall. Comes in with some help from McCormick, but it's the Stingers with possession. Here's Felix Martineau in behind the goal, quick stop up there, but McDougall swoops in, grabs that loose puck. It'll come back to Innes at the point. Stutter steps and gets it back into the corner. Martineau tries to center one, and it's picked off by Brady Gilmore. Great Gilmore up over the line to Petesian. He'll send one in, but it's knocked down by Innes. Martineau was heading for a change, had to play that puck. He'll send it rink wide. Hevlana up over the line with Campbell driving the goal, fires one in. Richard kicks it away. Hevlana again puts that one into the crest of the UNB netminder. Richard, he knocks it down and covers up.
Well, a good response there by Concordia as UNB had come out with a bit of a jump, and Kyle Helena once again leading the charge. He's been good here from Concordia tonight. Isaiah Campbell, big body. He finished off really strong at the end of that second period, making things difficult for the UNB Reds defenders. He was doing it once again on that shot.
There's Highland. Highland will rim one on around. Paymal meets it there, sends it back in. Bizier makes the play in behind, working with Wilms and Hall. Centers it out. It comes back to the point. Here's a play by La Rochelle. He'll fire one in. It's off a body, and Highland on the puck retrieval. Lavoie keeps it at the blue line, shovels it back in behind. Nolay tries to rim it around. Concordia with possession, down onto the goal line, stagger step, and Wilms picks it up for the Reds. Here's Wilms, tries to stretch one out, it's picked off. Here's a quick shot from Paymal, that one again, blocked in front. A second opportunity set towards the goal, and off the shin pad of Tyler Highland. He'll get that puck back and play it into the middle. Here's an opportunity, fed back to the blue line, and down low, Paymal looking for an option, tries to center it out. Here is this line for the Stingers are on the attack. Out of the reach of Bizier, and he'll come back through the neutral zone. Play it off to Lavoie. Lavoie pushes it forward on Connor Hall. Chip back the other way. Here's an opportunity. Isaac Nurse has some open ice. He's closing in, can't get a shot away. Giguère and Levine on the back pressure there, able to nullify that as a collision just outside the UNB Reds line led to that opportunity for Isaac Nurse.
Oh, great effort by Simone Levine. He and Bizier get caught up at center ice. That caused a turnover, but he was recognizing that he was in danger, and he fought hard to get back and close the gap on Isaac Nurse, who has those good pins.
Here's Giguère. Giguère driving, fires right off the brain bucket of Richard. It'll drop down into his glove.
Well, they were coming in, you know, you talk about the chances being created. Nurse was looked like he was looking for a play, but look at the big body Levine. Gets a stick in front there, they closed off and nullified a really good scoring chance. Heck of a job there by Levine to create that chance there, but stop that chance from unfolding.
Good hustle there as well from Charles-Antoine Giguère to get back, and he picked up that puck and tried to turn things back forward for the Stingers. 16:21 left to go here. Shots on goal, 3-0 for the Stingers in this third period. They've been on the prowl. One by Corbet, he'll win it back. McDougall knocked off, one hand on the stick. He's able to get it up, and again a high puck through the neutral zone that's knocked down by Desgrosiers. Plays it across to Levine, and that one, Giguère couldn't get a stick on it. McDougall goes across to McCormick. McCormick up through center, tries to play it to Corbet. It's off the boards and bounced out again. Right onto the stick of the Stingers, and Tremblay will play it in and hunt after Connor Hall. Hall spinning out from behind the goal. He's knocked down by Tremblay. Tremblay, puck on his stick. Inside the blue line, works it back. Helena will fire it through. That one blocked by McCormick. Tremblay down low, battling against Macaulay Carson, but Carson comes out with that puck, gets back to his feet, gets it to Corbet. Corbet tries to chip it off the boards. Helena will quickly turn it back the other way, and still backhands it in, and Richard leaves it there for Carroll. Carroll will rim it around to Petizian. Puck hops over his stick in and sends it back in. All for the UNB Reds from behind the goal will play it up through the middle of the ice. Petizian gets the pass from Gilmore again, closed off by Innes. Puck goes down into the Stinger zone. They'll bounce it off the glass. Petizian will knock that puck down. He'll control it. Petizian down low. Pinard, side of the net, scores! Simon Pinard comes from out behind the goal line and beats Lemieux, puts UNB up by one.
The Red faithful are liking that, as we can see it on the big screen. The Red cowbells will be out, but, you know, credit Michael Petizian, recognizing that he doesn't have much of play. Direct pass off the backboards. Knows that Simon Pinard is there. Knows that he's got that angle. We go back to talking about working the boards when both teams going and doing that. Smart play by Michael Petizian to do it, and a great finish by the ever-dangerous Simon Pinard as he gets the fist pump in the air, but you got to give 71 White heck of a lot of credit on that goal right there.
15:02 left to go in the third period, and the UNB Reds are back on a one-goal lead here. Lavoie Crosses it over. Here's Martineau up over the line. Felix Martineau through the wickets. Martineau top of the circle, near side boards. Will work it down low under the goal line. Tries to send one out. Campbell was all tied up. There's his shot blocked again. That time Keating, he goes hobbling to the bench after blocking that shot from the point. Over the line. And played in. Kataranakis tried to get it deep, couldn't do so. Lavoie to Campbell. Campbell knocks it down with a glove, plays it to a stick. Isaiah Campbell turns and fires, blocked in front, hops over the stick, side of the goal, the puck retrieval. Lavoie with a shot from the slot. Again, doesn't get through to Richard. Here's Martineau. Tries to work one back up top. There's a shot from a bad angle, stopped by Richard. It's down in front. McDougall can't clear it out. Here's Lavoie. Lavoie into the middle of the ice. He'll get it back up top and play it down low. Martineau battling for that puck with McDougall, comes back. Lavoie spins away from Cody Morgan, tries to get it down to Felix Martineau, knocked down. Second attempt goes through Martineau. Campbell working for that puck down in behind the goal with Martineau. Felix Martineau, the lone goal here for Concordia, comes out from the side of the net, top of the circle, all tied up there by Wilms. Got a shot away, blocked. Here's Paymon to Levine. Levine will fire, that's off a stick and rattles down low. Again, we see this Concordia team hemming this Reds team in. A shot from hop of the circle, kicked away by Richard, and that one will go for icing. Action back here tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock Atlantic time as the Alberta Golden Bears take on the Windsor Lancers. You can catch it right here, cbcsports.ca, CBC Gem. As UNB is going to take a timeout here, delayed icing. They got some tired legs out there, and Gardner McDougall feels that he needs to give these guys a break.
Not a bad call. I mean, you had Felix Martineau. They were working them hard. Bezier was over there. They had great sustained puck pressure, and that's a veteran call there by Gardner McDougall, recognizing that his team is gassed. And Concordia's really come back with a good response after that goal. You always want to see what's that next response after that first goal, that first shift after a goal, whether you scored or whether you're scored against. Great response there by Concordia coming back after UNB had created their own success, getting that go-ahead goal by Simone Pinard. This is an opportunity. They've got a little bit of feel going here, Concordia does. Let's see if UNB can stem the tide.
Well, the other thing about this, Norman, since Concordia got that power play in the second period, they're out shooting UNB 10-2 right now. One of them was able to beat Lemieux, but we've seen a different Concordia team since they've taken that power play and scored that goal.
No question.
Back to the point, they grow the eight. Plays it down low, Paymon works it back to the point. Levine will fire one high and it'll bounce out and picked up by Paymon. Paymon comes out, top of the circle, turns, fires, redirected, and there's the captain, tries to work it up, and McDougall stretches one out to the fresh legs of Macaulay Carson, and UNB will get a full change. Sproul will pick it up off the drop pass, fired off the shin pads of Levine. Levine in behind the goal, working along an errant stick there, but Macaulay Carson will come out with it for the Reds. Reds turn away, Carson back down low to Sproul, up top, here's Connor Hall. Hall will fire one traffic in front off a body, and Sproul will swing in, pick it up. Leaves it there for Corbett. Corbett comes to the top of the circle, sauces one across to Carroll. Carroll off the backboard, tries to get a bounce out front off the stick of Lemieux. Shovels that one back in behind, so we see UNB shift the momentum here as they're on the attack in the offensive zone, trying to hem this Concordia team in. Again, there's Gilmore creating a turnover.
Levine's gassed out there. He's got nothing in the tank.
Down low is Concordia not allowed to settle it down as UNB hard in the forecheck. Here is Simon Levine. He'll play it up through the neutral zone, played back in, and here comes Bizier. Bizier plays it down low. McDougall watch down low, and he's able to get it up as Jaguar was in the forecheck. Here's Petizian. Petizian through the neutral zone. He'll push across, and Innes will close off. Lemieux will kick that one out with the stick. Here's Christopher Innes. Plays it back into the neutral zone. Pinard back to Nolay. Nolay across to McDougall. Ross McDougall tries to send one rink wide. It'll come down and in on Lemieux. He'll have to play it. He leaves it there for Innes. Innes to Jaguar. He'll kick that one in and head in after Noah Carroll, who picks it up in behind the Reds goal. Jaguar plays the body on Carroll, but Carroll comes out with that puck. plays it off the glass. It'll hop under the stick of Helvena. First one on the attack, Austin Keating. He's closed off there by Kyle Helvena. Faber working for that puck as he keeps it in just inside the blue line. Skating to that one is Helvena. He tries to play it out of the reach of Poole, and Faber, stick lifted there by Tremblay. Tremblay pushing up over the blue line, gets that puck in, sends it in around. It'll come to Carroll. He's worked there by Girard. Off the boards, it comes to Macaulay Carson. Carson through the neutral zone, stick back away, and here comes Girard again up on the attack. Tremblay driving the goal, Nolay tied his stick up. Emmett Spool back out there for the Reds, tries to work it to Hall, and Macaulay Carson will again airmail one back into the neutral zone. Lavoie plays pitch and catch there with La Rochelle, and Steele will kick it into the zone. Richard leaves it for Nolay. Nolay worked there by Girard, and Ansteele will come in. Girard tries to center that. He had Kataranakis driving the goal, knocked down at the UNB bench by a glove, played back in. Nolay kicks it down to Macaulay Carson. Carson streaks out from the goal to Emmett Sproul. Sproul makes a move towards the center ice. Ansteele will field it, tries to play one, and Corbet will send one in. We'll get a whistle. 9:46 left to go here in the third period. 2-1 lead for the UNB Reds on a goal from Simon Pinard. We'll be back after this quick commercial break. Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here. Fans, you too can celebrate each U Sports team's gold medal victory with your very own commemorative apparel from T. Leeson Sports. Fans of basketball's Carleton Ravens and Guelph Griffins in track have been flocking to sports.usports.ca to purchase their piece of history. On Monday, the championship collection from this championship will be available for purchase, but hurry, supplies will go fast on this limited time offer. That's the U Sports Championship Collection on sale at shop.usports.ca. Back underway, Proulx tries to center one across, Petizian knocks it down, it'll come to Levine. Here's Levine, he'll stretch one out. Isaiah Campbell, the big body forward for the Stingers, uses that shoulder, but McDougall closes him off into the back. Martineau works it back up top to Levine, back to Martineau, tries to center it in front to Kataranakis. Chip Petizian gets a stick on it, chips it out. Kataranakis tried a dangerous play there through center, was near picked off by Pinard. Martineau to Kataranakis at the blue line, he'll play it in off the backboards to McCormick for the Reds. He'll get it up to Pinard. Pinard will allow Macaulay Carson to skate into it. He'll backhand one in. Lemieux out with the stick. He'll rim it on around, and Levine tries to seal the wall. It'll bounce to McCormick. He'll send one in. Corbet and Nurse off the backboards. Try and field it. It's back for the Stingers. Here's Highland up over the line with a stride on McCormick, and McCormick was able to get a stick in and nullify that opportunity. Paymon working it near side, half wall boards up top to Atlanta, cross ice to Innes. Innes will tee up a half clapper off the back wall, looking for a redirection. Doesn't work in his favor as the puck's pinned up along the near side corner boards. Here's Hall. Hall will saucer one up through the neutral zone off the glove of Nurse, but not on the right side of center. We'll get an icing with 8:13 left to go.
You know, Bo, it's interesting when you look at that first period in the second period intermission. We in the rink were having the privilege of seeing a guy like Ron McLean come in here and being part of the interview and talking about his island connection, being part of the hot stove beforehand. You're looking down in the rink here, seeing the alumni around here in the rink. It's just got a tremendous buzz going on here as everyone's here is really embracing this whole U Cup experience. There's just a feeling, it's almost like Alumni Weekend 2.0 all over again. As everyone's here, they're coming, being part of not only great hockey, but a great event too. And when you start getting people lending their support, the Ron McLeans of the world coming in and being a part of this, just makes it extra special and brings an extra element to this whole affair.
Yeah, it's all about the event that's happening in Charlottetown, known as a event-bearing community. And here's Tremblay off the face-off. He'll break his stick, and that could be a favorable bounce for UNB as they've iced it twice in a row. Nurse tries to push it forward. Back again, and Nolay will play it. There's a body check on Tremblay. He'll battle right in front of the UNB bench with Nurse. Puck will come loose, and the Stingers will start at La Rochelle. Plays it through the middle of the ice, and Thiel will chip it in. Tremblay will go after Nolay. Tremblay takes the body into the corner. It's bounced to Brady Gilmore. Gilmore with McKay streaking. That one picked off by La Rochelle again, and he'll try and get on his horse. He'll force it over the blue line, take that puck wide, drift one in on Richard, and gladly take an offensive zone face-off here with 7:23 left, down by 1.
Well, see if they can make something happen. And right now UNB's done a very effective job of keeping them to the outside. You see Noah Carroll playing in between the dots, recognizing that you want to protect that in-goal lead. Give him that shot from the outside. Sean La Rochelle is not going to be Samuel Richard from out there. So, keep them outside, keep it clean, do stuff like that, like Austin Keating.
Kataranakis down low to Campbell. Comes to the boards, and Austin Keating will start it up over the center ice. He'll bounce it off the yellow kick bike and redirected right into the slot area, but it's quickly turned back. Gilmore keeps it inside the blue line. Martineau will skate into it. He plays it back to Desgrolier, and that one's off the stick and tipped in. Carroll from behind the goal. He'll start it out. Work it across. Gilmore. Puck down low. A centering feed. Can't come through. Sproul. Back up top, McDougall. McDougall tries to go back down to Sproul, but it's Felix Martineau, 3-on-2 the other way. Martineau stops up top of the circle, gets it back. Havlana fired one. He got all of it along the ice. Richard able to make the save. And Carson back through the neutral zone. Macaulay Carson will chip it in, head into the forecheck after Havlana. Morgan will skate in, centers one in front. Sproul was there, couldn't get Lumber on it, and Highland will start it back the other way. He'll chip it in. Bezier with one drive in the goal. McCormick got the stick on the centering feed. That intended for Poole. Here's Highland. Tries to play it down low again. It's bounced off the glass, knocked down by Highland. Highland drags, fires, and didn't miss by much on that shot. Innes keeps it in at the blue line. Bizier centers in front, picked off by Connor Hall, and UNB's McCormick works it up to Pinard. Pinard through the neutral zone, tries to play it in. Innes knocks it down, gets it to Highland. Highland sends it in, opposite corner, but McDougall's able to glove it down. He'll take it in behind the goal and rim it around. Pinard will meet it there. Tries to go back to Baber. Here's Carroll, he's able to get it through the neutral zone, and Hans Thiel will chip it forward. Noah Carroll. Forehand, backhand, trying to swing away. He'll chip it out into the neutral zone. Lavoie will pick it off, play it to Tremblay. Tremblay will play it back in, and UNB will chase it back down. McDougall pinned up, and Corbet is able to loft that one over the head. Emmett Sproul with a stride, driving the goal. Tries to drop the shoulder down, gets his shot away. Lemieux makes the save.
Might have got away with one there, too, in the hole. Good effort there coming back on the defense.
Girard takes a body check. Lavoie sends it down into the corner. Hall gets it back up to Corbet. Still stays in the zone. The third attempt gets out. Corbet sends it over to Sproul. Sproul over the blue line, and that'll be offside. 4:41 left to go here in the third period.
Well, they were coming back there. Yeah, UNB had a good chance coming in. Emmett Sproul driving hard to the net. Nathan Lavoie did the right thing. He got the hit. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be called. You get that lower hand off the stick, wrapped around the body. Lavoie might have got, I don't have a problem with that call, but I think he might have got away with one there. But a good effort by Lavoie, recognizing he was in danger, much like Simon Lavigne did earlier on. Lavoie doing the same thing to support Jonathan Lemieux.
We talk about game management here from the officials. It's the exact same thing, or from the teams. It's the exact same things with the officials, and that's game management.
I didn't mind that call.
No,
I don't mind that at all.
One goal game, 4.5 minutes left.
Hey, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking for a call at all. I think that was the right call to be made. But I think you talk about bench management, you talk about game management, you talk about referees. This tournament's been well officiated so far, Bo. This afternoon was excellent. These guys are doing a great job here again as well tonight.
Campbell
Tyson Stewart and Jesse Gourde.
Overskates that puck, and Pinard, he was knocked off as he picked it up. Body check in behind. Here's an opportunity. Petizian works it back to McDougall. McDougall will fire one in. High shot, looking for a tip in the slot from Pinard, but Lemieux was able to hold on.
Well, when you're coming in, I mean, at this point in time, any shot's a good shot, right? Ross McDougall says, you know what, maybe I don't have much of an option here. I think I'll just throw it in on top. Lemieux, it could have been a potentially dangerous shot. When you get it up into that right shot, you know, that's his 24th save of the night. That's not a very difficult one to make, but it could have had ramifications if he can't handle it and it pops loose for a rebound.
25-12 shots on goal. UNB leading by a score of 2-1. Keating on the half wall boards. It's rimmed on around. Nobody home for the Stingers, and Nurse is able to skate into it. Here's Isaac Nurse. Nurse closed off there by Desgrolier, and Nurse broke his stick in behind the play. Katarinakis battling along the boards. Shifts it up to Martineau. Martineau gets it across. Levine sends it to Campbell. Campbell on the backhand tries to direct it into the zone. He'll go after Connor Hall, and Campbell gets that puck. Bizier tries to fire. He'll break his stick as well, and he'll try and tie it up along the boards with his feet. Katarinakis coming in to help out. Noah Carroll battling with him. It's shifted out again, knocked down by Innes. Innes will come back to Bizier. Over to Havlena. He'll play it in, and Highland will go in after Connor Hall. Hall from behind the goal again. He'll make a play off the boards right onto the stick of Macaulay Carson. Carson up over the line. Sproul will drag it far. Comes to Corbet, and there's a good stick in the lane from Mathieu Bizier. He's able to knock that one up and out of play.
Well, there's the Corbet coming along and making stuff happen, but you see the collective effort back in the defensive zone there. Jason Wilms not allowing any players to get outnumbered. Concordia player bangs the stick. You know what? They seize the opportunity to say, boys, let's get in there. Let's get on the attack on the defensive side of things. But that's just good awareness. You see Connor Hall back here, the same sort of thing. Not letting the Concordia's trying to stretch the ice out here a little bit. Connor Hall, good awareness, not getting caught, being able to cut it through the neutral zone as well.
Corbet right off the face-off, wanted ahead and tried to loft one. He just put it up over the glove. Played back into the Concordia zone, and that one's going to go for icing.
Didn't cross the line. Puck never crossed the line.
Few words there from the UNB bench. They're not happy with 3:02 left to go. Norm, we got to keep an eye here on Jonathan Lemieux.
Well, justifiably so. Puck hit in the corner, it never crossed the goal line down at the other end. I think they thought it was going to. The initial call was made. It looked like it was going to happen, but anyway, see if Concordia can get away with this.
Tied up and laid down low. Paymall's closed off there and able to skate into it is Ross McDougall again. McDougall through the neutral zone, out of the reach of Petizian. He'll go down into the corner and battle there with Lavoie. Levine will come in. He'll make the play over the stick of Highland. McCormick from the blue line for UNB. Tries to send it in. It's stick down into the corner boards. Highland can't get to it. It's picked off there by Pinard. Here comes Concordia trying to wind it up with 2.5 minutes left to go in the third period, down by 1. Tyler Highland up over the blue line. Tries to saucer one into the middle. Bizier's all tied up. Puck's in behind the goalie. Try and work it free. It comes free now. A centering pass from Paymall doesn't get through. Highland covering at the point. Tries to play it down. It'll hop over the stick, and here comes McCormick. McCormick to Pinar. Pinar will drop it back, and Gilmore finds a lane. He'll cross over the blue line. Brady Gilmore works it wide, stops up in the corner, boards on Campbell, and rims it around to Austin Keating. Keating closed off there by Havlana, across to Campbell. He'll put the shoulder into Nurse and pick that puck up in his stick. Tries to work it back behind the goal. Gets it up, and Martineau waiting out at the far blue line here, but Nurse is going to get to that puck. Desgrolier rims it around. Campbell will meet it. Half wall boards. Minute 40 left to go here in the third period. Stingers trying to penetrate the offensive zone. Campbell, far side boards. He's stopped up there by Sproul, and it's played back in. Lemieux stops it up, gets it to Havlana. Havlana in behind the goal, plays one off, and it's a long stretch pass intended for Campbell, knocked down up over the line. Here comes Katarinakis, tries to center one through to Martineau. Hall will handle it. Lemieux can't get to the bench here with a minute and 8 seconds left to go. La Rochelle will play it in. Richard off the backboards will leave it loose. 6-on-5 attack here as that one's played down, and Tremblay back to get it. And net is empty for the Stingers. A long stretch pass up to Martineau. Martineau will play it in. Carroll meets it there. He's also met by Campbell. Down in the corner boards, it'll come to Sproul. Sproul will chip it by, and it's a foot race. Pinard after Levine. Levine will handle it on the forehand. 35 seconds left to go. In this third period, Concordia trying to push it up over the line. They'll play it in. Girard plays it in. McDougall will chip it out, and will that one have legs? It will have the legs for icing. So the Concordia Stingers, 23.7.
Well, that one did cross the line, but we're going to get another look at that other one here, and it appears to me, I don't know if we're going to get the angle or not, but there you go. See, puck never crossed the line. I still haven't lost it, though. I still got the old skills coming back. Huh?
So Concordia is going to take a 30-second timeout here, trailing 2-1 in the third period. 25-12 shots on goal in favor of UNB. I'm sure Jonathan Lemieux will remain at the bench as Marc-Andre Elamont tries to draw something up here.
Well, the thing is, what he's probably going to be looking at is seeing he's got either Nick Girard or Isaiah Campbell. I suspect someone like that's going to be trying to take the front of the net, establish some body position, see if he can take probably someone like Noah Carroll or Connor Hall with him to create some kind of traffic in front of it, right? So if they go into this game, I mean, this is a situation where they're going to have the top defensive guys out here for UNB and the top offensive guys. You're looking at Martineau. There you go with Campbell up front. You got Tremblay coming up here as well. And these guys are going to make it happen. You got your offensive guys. Buckle up, 23.7 to go. Not done yet.
Face off down to the left of Richard. Tremblay quick off that movement. UNB looking for the face-off exit. Martineau in against Gilmore. Gilmore will win the face-off. McDougall tries to spin away. Martineau works it back. Rochelle tries to get a shot away. Petizian close off. McDougall had his stick lifted, fired towards the goal just wide. 13 seconds left to go. Katarinakis plays it down to Campbell. Campbell battling, centers it out. Highland in front. McDougall down on that puck in front of the crease. 4 seconds towards the goal. Rebound in front. Puck loose. Scramble away and into the Hartwell Sound. What a flurry of opportunities there with 4 seconds left. The Stingers throw it towards the goal. Here's a look at it, Norm.
They threw everything, but there you go with the big body. Isaiah Campbell doing it once again. Throw it out in front. Comes back in here, thrown out in front by Tremblay. Tyler Holland, the Fichu man, gets a whack at it, but Samuel Richard showing why he is the Rookie of the Year in the AUS. And in a U Sport All-Star as well, too. But I got to look at here. I got to give props to Concordia here in this game, Bo. I mean, they hung with it right till the end. There's a lot to be proud of with this program in terms of where they are right now, in terms of how they competed in this game. And, UNB came through it at the end. But if I'm Marc-Andre Elamont, I've got to be down there, and I got to be pretty proud of my players to the performance. They only had 14 shots. UNB only had 25. You're holding UNB to 25 shots too? That's an accomplishment in and of itself. But you know what? Heck of a playoff game here. You know, the boys are going to give props to one another as they're shaking hands, and one of the greatest traditions of sport, in my opinion, when you have competitors come together like that. But 2 games into the books, Bo, and we've had 2 good ones so far, and we're probably going to coming in tomorrow with 2 more dandies. And you know, it's U Sport hockey at its finest, and unfortunately Concordia, they played like champs, did not come out on the winning side of it, which was unfortunate for them. But heck of an effort on both sides as we look at the brackets starting to get filled in. You see UQTR, man, that's going to be some matchup tomorrow, Saturday between those 2 teams. Who's going to be coming out on the other side? We'll soon find out. You know, we're going to get going tomorrow at noontime with the Windsor University of Alberta game. And then the picture will become entirely clear tomorrow evening as the Panthers, hometown Panthers, take on the visiting Calgary Dinos. Number 1 team in the country, number 1 seed versus number 1 8. Setting up for a heck of a St. Paddy's Day party here in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, I can tell you that.
Both teams still shaking hands here at center ice.
Well, you see the emotions too. You see a guy like Ben Corbet and Simon Leving. You know, they played together both in Blainville. You know, these guys, we talked again about the connection that all these guys have over the course of their hockey careers. A lot of them played together in the Q or the O, and most of these guys in the Q, some of the guys in UNB would have come from the Western as well too. But just a heck of a game. Great start, day 1 here to the Cavendish Farms U Cup here in Charlottetown.
So we get the Nike players of the game here from this quarterfinal matchup between the UNB Reds and the Concordia Stingers. Mark Cormier from Cavendish Farms making the presentation for Concordia.
De Concordia est le numéro 29, Jonathan Lemieux.
The goaltender, number 29, Jonathan Lemieux. Kicked aside 23, a lot of grade A saves. We see why this guy comes in as the Rookie of the Year, goaltender of the year from the OUA here tonight.
Well, you talk about building your franchise around someone. There's a cornerstone right there that you're going to have him around for another few years at least, right?
Performer of the game from the UNB
any winning championship team, they always have top-end defensive player, top-end goaltending, and offensive skill like this guy right here, the night player of the game for UNB. Simon Pinard got it done when he had to. Great setup by Michael Petizian. Great setup by Michael Petizian to get that winning goal, but you know, the finisher had to finish. Simon Pinard has been a difference maker here for the UNB Reds all year. He did it once again, but you know, like I said earlier, Bo, heck of an effort on both sides. Luke Mutch is going to be securing her interview coming up here with Simon Pinard here shortly, but you know, the salute going to the UNB players, to the UNB fans, and they got the red bells going up. They'll be out in full force on Saturday, I can tell you that. There'll be a lot of people making the trek across the Confederation Bridge to be part of the festivities coming here on Saturday.
Simon Pinard joining us here at ringside. Simon, you get the game-winning goal here tonight for your team, but more importantly, you come in. What's the national experience been like? You're a first-year guy. You kind of get that taste under you. Does it make you want more heading into Saturday's semifinal matchup?
Yeah, of course we want more. It was a pretty tight game. They gave us a hard time. And, yeah, I think it just set the tone for the semifinal on Saturday.
You scored that game-winning goal just about 5 minutes into the second period, or into the third period here for your UNB Reds team. Just walk us through that opportunity that you were able to put in the back of the net.
Yeah, we just wanted to get one early. I think my teammates made a great play, saw me behind the net, and just try to put the pucks on net real quick so the goalie doesn't have time to get there, and that's what happened. So, yeah. We're pretty happy about it.
You're playing for a program that winning is the culture in UNB. What's the message heading into Saturday afternoon? What do you guys feel that you need to do heading into that matchup where you know you're going to play the UQTR Patriot?
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. I think, they just played Concordia, and it was a great series, so I think it's going to be the same thing for the semifinal. We just want to get there, work hard, and do our thing, and I think we'll be good for that.
Well, Simone, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on your game-winning goal. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
I tell you what, Bo, if you're looking at a semifinal matchup, a marquee matchup that's going to be happening on Saturday, two teams, the defending national champion coming in UQTR. I can't wait to get that one going. That's going to be a beauty here on Saturday. But we've been treated to a great first day of hockey here in this 2023 Cavendish Farm U Cup. It's just been exceptional, and it's been we've seen physical play like that, all kinds of great goaltending coming out, opportunistic scoring on everybody's part, and it's going to be something here coming in. We know that both teams are going to be bringing it.
So long here from the Eastlink Center in Charlottetown. UNB Reds over the Concordia Stingers 2-1. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Atlantic time as the University of Alberta Golden Bears take on the Windsor Lancers to see who punches their ticket to the semifinal. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
U Sports on CBC, les championnats U Sport, brought to you in part by, vous êtes présenté par Nike Team, Just Do It, faites-le. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues de championnat U Sport. Fox 40, celebrating a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport depuis 10 ans. By Veriburn, proud medical supplier to university sports since 1979. Fier partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. The Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. And by Cavendish Farms. Enjoy the game day taste at home with Cavendish Farms. Profitez des saveurs de jour de match chez vous avec les frites Les Fermes Cavendish.